All right, welcome to Red Skies, session 21. Last time you guys completed the fight for the sea spray, preventing anybody from escaping, as well as having a big party after that, where everybody got a chance to drink some more rum, got their spoils from the booty. You guys got like 300 gold pieces. Party treasure, and then like another 50 gold pieces each. So you were able to buy back most of your equipment, which was a good thing, because quite frankly, soon thereafter, you guys had to get on a different ship. Mad Dog is sending this new ship back to Flotsam. First time you've heard of Flotsam, so you're not sure exactly what it is. To get refitted so that it becomes part of his little small fleet of vessels. To do that, he has promoted, quote unquote, Mr. Scabs to temporary captain of the Sea Spray, and told him to pick a skeleton crew to take the ship back. Scabs picked the usual suspects. That would be Galt, the dwarf, Sefu, the one of the riggers that you knew, Trek, the mute half orc, Khan, who's the big huge bully, and Lys, the red haired ex harlot. Surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, depending on which side you're on, he also picked the 7 of you, and he picked Rat from the original Maiden's Follies crew. Again, not sure why. Didn't seem like he had any issue with Rat previously. Maybe he thinks Rat's good at something. Last but not least, he also picked your 2 friends, True Defira and Blinby Zilton, and put you guys to work on the ship. Kind of gave you some of the crap jobs again, and you guys started to take off and away from the Defiant on your merry way. He gave you directions. And you guys started sailing away. So we'll pick up there this evening. To start with, we will go to the map here, and I will show you that I have now added a ship to the map. It's right here. This is you guys, where you guys are actually at on the map. This will now get updated over time as you guys move around. The directions that Mr. Scab gave you, Iylis, because you are technically the sailmaster and in some sense the navigator. The directions he gave you were basically to sail from the current spot here around the Arch Isles, and through a spot in the wall right here called the Silent Shoals. And
I don't know if I'm that good at sailing.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to be the only one to do it. He's just giving you the navigation to start doing it. Don't worry about it too much currently, but so that's and I mean, via some charts and working with a few of the guys, you learn that that's over here on the map. All right, and that this is the Arch Isles, and we'll talk about it a little bit as you guys go past it, because you will be able to see some stuff. But you're starting here and going around this way. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you before we get started. Second thing is, I finally have pictures for True and Blinby. So let me give you some pictures of True and Blinby. Blinby looks like this. Remember, Blinby is a gnome. She's when you guys have seen her in the past, and again, she doesn't talk to you a lot, but she's definitely warmed up to you in some sense. She's talked to you more over the last couple of days. The day before the raid and the day after than she has probably the entire rest of the time. But she looks like this. And True, the one who took a shine to you guys almost immediately, she looks like this. And if I haven't mentioned it before, or I probably did, but we haven't mentioned it enough, she is part tiefling. Very clearly.
She's got cool tattoos.
And she also has some tattoos which you believe might be related to her her religion. All right. So let us pick up there. You guys, it is the morning of the 25th of Sowing Tide. You guys have set sail with Mr. Scabs. He has given directions of where to go. How do you want to accomplish that? As he tells you, Iylis, make way for the Silent Shoals.
Let's head in the opposite direction.
We could.
I'm pretty sure he knows the way to get there. So.
I mean, well, I will start doing my wind thing and try to pick up the sails.
So, I mean, you guys pick up the sails. Now, going west is typically slower than going east because it's a westerlies here. Think of it as slightly different. Remember, in the Caribbean, which is sort of what this is kind of patterned after, it's the land of the easterlies because you're sort of, in the tropics. This is actually a temperate area, even though it's warm. Again, this world, the weather is a little interesting in the sense that you're in probably what would be considered the latitudes of 45 degrees or 50 degrees. I mean, you don't know that. No one's really like the world is all you see. All this island is as far as
isn't the world flat here?
It is pretty flat as far as everybody's concerned, and you can fall off the edge. But in the terms of to give you terms of like real world kind of stuff, this whole island is probably between the latitude of 47 degrees and 57 degrees, or 45 and 55. So you're technically in the land of the westerlies. So the winds that go across here are coming from the west. So heading to the west means that you end up tacking back and forth. So travel to the west is slower than travel from the west.
Understandable.
But you can use gusts to try to help it out and move it along, and that's usually what the sailmasters do especially when they're going to the west. They tend to every so often provide gusts of wind and stuff. So you start doing that. Anybody else doing anything? Try to help out, or you're just doing your jobs that you've been given.
I think as a relatively educated person, I could help him read the maps at least.
Yeah, no, you can. Give me a. I would say survival. Well, I'm going to say give me a survival roll, but use your intelligence.
Okay.
Instead of the wisdom modifier.
So I'm not training that, so I just
do an intelligence roll.
All right, intelligence. Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, just do a straight intelligence roll.
Oh, I nailed it.
Did you just roll a double 20?
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting.
Impressive.
Yeah, you are clear. It's very clear to you. The chart is almost as tall as you are, so and you have to use a stool to stand on top of the thing to look at the charts. And you kind of look around and you talk with Iylis, and Iylis kind of gives you the discussion he kind of had with Viol on the other ship, and the two of you look over the map, and he's like, and you figure out that yes, indeed, you're here. You figure out where the shoals are, and then you kind of have two ways. Like he wants you to go to the Silent Shoals, so the Silent Shoals are here. You have two ways to get there. You can go north of the Arches, or you can go south of the Arches, which means you're going to have to come. The faster way would be north, because the north side, because it's a little bit shorter, but not a lot shorter. You figure no matter what, it's going to take about 2 days to get to the shoals. And you're not sure. It's called the shoals, the Silent Shoals, so you assume that there's some. At this point in time, you assume that's probably where Flotsam is, because you don't have any other information to tell you it's not. Did you two want to kind of talk about potential alternatives? Like, you jokingly said go the opposite direction, but in theory you could do something if you could try to go somewhere else if you wanted. Not telling you can't, just that you have a good idea that Scabs and his guys probably know which direction they need to go. That's all.
Well, how bad do they outnumber us?
Well, let's bring up the sea spray. Here we go. So I've made a complete map of the sea spray here. This is all of the decks. So you have at the top, you have the top decks. This is the main deck here, and as the second one, the first one down from the top. This is the mid deck, is the middle of it. The lower deck, or the hold, is at the bottom here. And the last bit here is the bilges. All right. This is the entire crew right here on the mid deck right now. I kind of threw everybody on there. So you need to decide how you want to go approaching it. That is the entire crew.
I can't see anything.
What do you mean you can't see anything?
Well, they're taking the ship to get like repaired and stuff,
Let me
right?
refresh my thing.
Yeah, just refresh. Yes, they want to take it to Flotsam to get refitted so that A, it doesn't look like the sea, or so that the Sea Spray name gets taken off of it. That's the first gotcha. B, probably add a few things to it so it becomes probably a little faster or something of that nature. Maybe a few more sails or add to the sails. Like, you remember the sails on the Defiant had a strange kind of shimmery quality to it, the ones that they used when they went into battle. And you definitely remember arrows hitting that thing and literally bouncing off. Like hitting it, getting deadened, and coming and just falling to the ground as if not going through the sail, which you would expect a normal arrow or a bolt to go right through a piece of tarp. You just put a hole in it. But this one did not. And you noticed that those sails, the sails that they put up when they went to go into battle, were definitely different. So you're assuming there are things of that nature that they would probably try to add. That's what you assume.
Well, I say that we wait until they do that, and then
I was just about to suggest the same thing. Might be prudent to let them.
Also note, you guys have not had a chance to do a long rest yet. So the hit points that you currently have are the hit points you have from the battle.
This is not the time to make a move.
Yeah, just letting you know that. I'm reminding you of that. Sorry.
Do we get to see which one of these guys, like of the crew, are friends that we know, like definitely?
You should be able to hover over somebody. Second, I mean a wrong thing. And they should turn red if they're enemy, if they're hostile, and blue if they're indifferent or neutral, or green if they're an ally.
There's only one blue.
There's more than one.
On two blues.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, sorry. Yellow means they're neutral. Blue means they're a friend. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, it turns out one guy is yellow when he's supposed to be blue.
I was going to say, is that red?
Rad is not neutral to you. He's a friendly. So he should now be blue. As time moves on, I will provide them I will do the following, because Rat is definitely friendly. So his name will always get displayed for you now. So there's Rat. So now that he is where Rat is at. Any other questions about anything so far on the ship? So this is the complete crew. Not all the crew is up here on the deck. I just threw them all on here today so that you could at least see who was all the crew. This is definitely a skeleton crew for this ship. That's 20 people total on this ship. And this ship really could use a crew complement of about 25 to 30. It could be handled by as few as 10 or 12. So, I mean, it could be less than this, but it's very clear that Scabs chose the number he did because he didn't want you guys to outnumber him.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing? You like I said, you have a pretty good idea of the route. Of two possible routes you could go, or you could discuss potentially going somewhere else if you wanted to completely.
I have a question, real quick. If we take a long rest, can I do the ritual as well, or does it have to be one or the other?
What do you mean?
A binder ritual if I wanted to change my bound soul?
You do it after the end of a long rest.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's usually the only time you do it. I think in future levels.
Well, I think I've already got the feat where I can do it twice. I can do it once after a long rest and once after a short rest. I think that was a third level thing.
Well, let me check real quick. Oh, great! It went to the wrong. Hate it when I do that. In the meantime, while I'm looking that up, what else are you guys doing?
I'm gonna explore the ship. I'm gonna find out what all the equipment's here and what we could
So,
use. Just
I will remind you that you do have a job to do, that you're probably either a rigger or a swap. That doesn't mean you can't be exploring the ship at the same time. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just reminding
yeah,
you
well,
that
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do my job, and
Yeah,
then
there are
whatever I
certain
can
things
fit
you need to
in.
do at the
But
same
my goal is to have a real kind of like an inventory of what's on the ship and that's useful. Whatever I can get to.
No, that's fine. Actually, based on this is correct. You can do a rebinding at once per day, once per long rest.
Right.
At any time. You don't need to do it after a short rest. You could literally do it right now if you want.
Oh.
Starting at second level, you can use your action. You can use your action to perform a modified version of the binding ritual, allowing you to expel a bound vestige early and bind another vestige of equal or lower level in its place. Any effects created by a dismissed vestige immediately end. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
And at 15th level, you can do it twice. Sorry, at 15th level, you can rebind 2 vestiges instead of just one ability. So you're only ever able to do this once per day, this rebind. But it's not after a short rest. It's just you can do it.
Okay.
Whenever you want to. Did everybody update themselves to level 4?
Yep.
If not, we should do it right now, just so we are certain that we have everybody set up to level 4.
I'm gonna have to send you some spells that
well, notice in Facebook, Brian, I did ask you if you would send me some
I
stuff.
didn't check Facebook before now. I'll send it after we finish tonight.
That's fine. So I didn't know what to put in for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know some of the stuff is there and some of it's not. I know, like, I just need to know what you need in there so I can go find it in the various books. And what I'll end up doing is that if it's in a particular book, then I'll add the rest of everything that's related to it at the same time.
Pretty sure both the ones that I'm trying to get are from Xanthar.
Yeah,
so,
and that's fine. I just want to make sure I put the right stuff in and do it. It's easier for me to just do this based on what you guys need more than just for me to blanket try to put a book in, because it takes a while. It took me the better part of an hour and a half to add John's Battlemaster stuff, which was fine because that's what he wanted to do. So, that's time well spent. But to go through and just put in all of, a particular book doesn't make a lot of sense, and if nobody's going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, but everybody else has got their self leveled up to 4.
Yeah, I had a couple questions about like what spells I can swap out with, like, how I'm on a ship. I don't know how much I can, train myself to get new spells.
Well, you were just training with a sorcerer, so
yeah.
I would say run a spell by me, and I would tell you whether or not he actually had it or would be able to give you the seeds of it or whatever. That's all I would say. Like,
okay, gotcha. Because I'm thinking things like charm person or
probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a sailmaster. That's not his intent, so he's probably not going to know that to be able to help you with it. That you're probably going to have to learn from a wizard or somebody who already knows it. But other things that he might know, like there may be other things he might know.
Yeah, because I get 2 more. I get another cantrip and another spell.
No, totally. So, I think in the sense of cantrips, those are so simple they probably just come to you, kind of thing.
Okay.
So those I wouldn't be concerned about a cantrip.
What about like detect magic?
Detect magic. Yeah, that's pretty. That's also something pretty straightforward. You've been using magic for a while now. You have an idea. You sort of are getting a better affinity for it. So having that as a first level spell is not a big deal to me.
Cool. I think I'll probably take that.
I personally believe that detect magic should be a cantrip, but that's just something that I believe.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
I'd like to take some time to sneak away somewhere fairly quiet and do a bind to Hui, my new dude.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Tell me when.
Yeah. Just if I don't get back to you in the next 10 minutes, remind me. That's all. All right, so Hylough's going to start kind of trying to surreptitiously look around the ship as time goes on. There are going to be some places that are off limits to you, Hylough. Like you're not going to be able to get into the front here. This is taken over by, in essence, Galt and Scab's minions. You're not going to be able to take over. You're not going to be really able to look in here, even though I've provided you visibility into it. You're not going to be able to look in here either because that's where Scabs is taken over.
Right.
But the rest of the ship you'll be able to pretty much get to. Like,
And that's really what I'm really trying
I
to
just
get to.
wanted you to understand that, like, you're seeing this, but you're not really getting. And you can get glimpses as you go by, and the doors open and things like that. It's not like you don't have an idea of what's in these areas. It's just you're not going to be able to go through there and ruffle, search them or anything like that. Is all. So, anybody else doing anything? Aaron, you doing anything? John seems to have joined now. Are you doing anything? As the ship starts to sail, as Iylis and Praedyth have figured out the route. Iylis and Praedyth. Which route do you guys want to do? The northern or the southern route?
Let's go the northern route.
Well, do we know which one's a safer route?
Well, the northern route is shorter. You two don't necessarily know a lot about the Sea of Tears because you both grew up kind of a ways away from the Sea of Tears. Although, to be fair, I believe, Praedyth, you've been in the Sea of Tears for the last year or so. So you do know that the Arch Isles, there is some permanent storm that's over the center of... let me bring this back up real quick. So you can... when you look at the Arch Isle here, it's actually a whole bunch of reefs and shoals that make it almost a perfect ring. And there's a storm here in the very center. You also know that the sailors on ships you've been on as you've been traveling here in the Sea of Tears, Praedyth, that there's stories of ghost ships in here and things of that nature. So you definitely don't want to go through this. At least in your opinion, you definitely don't want to go through it. So you probably want to go around and the northern route here. This route here is actually one of the known trade routes, and you've been down this way on ship. That you've really paid attention to it when you were already traveling in this last year. Let's see here. Marcus and Hylough, you guys would know the following. There's a trade route here, northerly one. There's one through here. That's kind of these are the two main routes. There is a third route through around here down south, but it is lesser used because there's really no place to stop, or there's really no port of call down there that's easily accessible. So there's really, they just tend to not go this route. That's all. But there's another route here. You're unsure why. The two of you are unsure why, as you overhear that he's taking you to the shoals. Why he would go there? I mean, as far as you know, it should be north, middle, or south, and there's really no other. I shouldn't say that. There are other known ways through. Those are the widest entry points that are easiest to find. Like there's a good swath of 5 to 10 miles between a variety of different reefs and shoals.
I guess north is fine.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just want to make sure, like, you guys he's giving you over the sort of the navigation and is expecting you
Yeah, I
guys to
think
do it.
the north is cool.
North should be good.
All right, so you guys start heading to the northern route. So over the next half day, you guys get to about here. During that time, Hylough, you are able to at least spend some time looking over the upper deck here. Oops, I didn't activate it. Sorry. The upper deck here and the mid deck. But that's about it over the course of those 4 hours, because again, you're trying to do your job at the same time. Dresd'a, you are able to break away for the couple of minutes it's going to take to do this. You draw the symbol of Hu on the ground, or on the boards. Let's say in the hold down here, and start the ritual. Let me bring up Hu real quick so I can go through the ritual with you. I like to do the first one. As you draw the circle and inscribe the sign of Huyi, you see the sort of inside the circle, a kind of a mist start to form and coalesce. You speak some words, some extra words to just kind of focus your will and focus the spirit that is coming forth from between the worlds or between the planes, between the dimensions, however you want to call it. And eventually, I gotta remember how I was gonna make this guy look. Eventually, what stands before you is part man, part eagle, all beaten. You can see bruising all over the body of this creature. You can see one wing of it is totally shattered and broken and hangs limply at the side. His left arm, clearly you can see bones sticking out of it. Whatever this spirit was in a former life, he died a horrible, horrible death as he was beaten to a bloody pulp. What looks up at you though is eagle eyes with feathers across the face of this bloody and bruised face that's got a partial beak and a partial human face, and it says, "Yes, my mistress." You say anything to him?
Oh, great Huyi, it is an honor to meet you. I beg you humbly to bind with me.
Is this Howl from Howl's Moving Castle?
He cocks his head kind of bird-like.
I'm thinking more like
and
the
you
bird
hear
creatures from
sort of
Beast
a painful crack in his neck. It's almost as if the eagle portion is taken over for a moment. And then sort of the man comes back and he says, "Shall do great things." And then he turns into mists and merges in through your various orifices, eyes, mouth, nose. Will not do any others than that for now.
Yeah.
And
in your honor, Huyi.
and he merges with you, and you are now Huyi the archer now rides with you. Note, I think you can still only do one vestige for now. Yeah. Next level, you can start doing 2. This is an FYI, which means that the total level of vestiges you can hold is, I believe, that max level. So if you had a second and a first, that would equal 3rd level. Otherwise, you can have 1 3rd level, or you can have 3 first levels bound. I believe that's how it works, but I have to look it up again. Anyway, as part of that, the energy that is generated from this, I think during a rebind, you can't change to your minor spirits. So for now, you're still stuck with Chill and Totem. But I believe, based on what I've been reading, you can change those spirits at any binding to different ones.
Cool.
It's just you can only ever have the 2 spirits.
Right. Okay. That's
Wait,
good to
hold
know.
on. When you gain a level in this class, you can choose to replace a minor spirit you come out with. So I'm mistaken. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But you could have chosen to, when you got to level 4, to replace one of Chill or Totem with something else.
Okay.
As part of this, you don't have. Do you wish to suppress the sign? Because once you've merged with him, your eyes become eagle-like, and there's this plumage of eagle feathers that basically come off around your eyes.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm keeping that. No, sorry.
So that is currently on. You can suppress it if you wish.
But if I suppress it,
if you suppress it, you won't have the eagle eyes trait. That's all that will go away.
Oh, I want that because that allows me to use my charisma instead of my dex for my range attacks.
Yes. Now remember, you can use your action to conceal the traits. But then once it's gone, you have to use an action to reveal the trait. So you can turn it off right now, and then during combat you can always use an action to reveal it to get it back. Just as FYI.
Okay, well, all right, we'll try it that way.
If you want to keep the eyes on, you can. I'm just letting you know you don't have to.
I just thought they were a cool look.
Yeah, that's fine. You can leave them on. I'm not telling you to take it off. I was just giving you so you understand exactly how it works. That's all.
All right.
So at some point during those 4 hours, as you guys are doing stuff, at some point, Dresd'a suddenly has this kind of. It almost looks like she's got some feathers growing out of her forehead and the crown of like the ridges around her eyes and cheekbones and stuff like that. This kind of beautiful eagle plumage. And you also notice, pardon?
She looked weird.
Well, her eyes also are bird-like.
Yeah, that's kind of weird looking.
I mean, her eyes were already a little strange because of her heritage, but now they're even more strange.
Now she looked birdy.
So this happens at some point during these first 4 hours. What I need you to do is, Iylis, give me a intelligence water vehicles roll.
Intelligence water vehicles.
If you
I think isn't that just like a intelligence roll?
Well, if you have proficiency in water vehicles, then you can add your proficiency.
I don't believe I do.
That's fine. So give me that. Just give me an intelligence roll then. Let's see. You direct things pretty well as the first navigation for the first 4 hours.
Beginner's luck there.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
I know everything.
Also, take half that number and make a note of it. So take 10. Make note of that, as you now have 10 points towards learning skill in water vehicles.
Cool.
And so over time, you will probably become proficient. You keep up at it. Okay. Hylough. Going kind of through the ship. I'll kind of give this for everybody because you'll probably let some of them know.
I also have 11 points towards strange artifacts.
Yes, you do. What you see is like the ballistas up here are currently, one of them is non-functional because if I remember correctly, somebody cut the actual bowstring to it. So you guys will potentially have to fix that. The other one is functional.
Yeah, let's fix that.
But is currently pointed the wrong way. That's pretty much what you figure out up here. There are ballista bolts up here as well. In theory, if you wished to, you could use them as a javelin. Here on the 4, just ropes. It's a typical forecastle. There's just a 3-masted ship with multiple sails. It's just like it would have been on the Defiant.
Question. Can those ballistas be turned to aim at the part of the ship where all Scav's minions are?
Well, if you remember correctly, during the raid that you guys did, the guys were trying to turn them around.
Okay.
So,
all right.
It does take 2 people to manhandle it, though, and it does take 3 rounds to turn around. So it's not a quick thing to do.
At some point, do we have enough list of bolts to practice with it?
You have like about a half dozen.
Probably not then.
It's up to you guys if you want to practice with it. Here on the main deck, Hylough, clearly this is meant to be taken apart to drop cargo in. This is more of a cargo ship than it is sort of a military ship or anything like that. This goes down into there. You guys you sort of have tied up this particular rowboat, because remember they had untied it, so you had pulled it back up and tied it up. Otherwise, this is all, again, typical main deck, where most of the activity on the ship is. This is where you tend to be doing most of your work for the day, whether it's in the rigging or swabbing or moving ropes around or stuff. That's most of where you're at. You did get a chance to get to the middle deck. You kind of got here initially because you know, this is where the crew quarters are. So you guys, your foot lockers are put in here and a few things like that. You kind of mapped out some bunks and that sort of stuff. Going into here, it's pretty clear this is a galley. And so this is where you're gonna need to make food. Currently, no one has been assigned to be the cook, so that one's gonna be a bit of a problem. Somebody needs to start making food.
Is there food?
Well, yeah,
on the
you guys moved. Clearly, they moved some supplies onto the ship because it is some kind of journey to get to Flotsam, so they had to give you something.
Yeah, but there's got to be food from the
And there was
other
food.
people.
There's food from when they were also moving across. So
Gotcha.
I mean, there's hardtack and stuff like that here for the first day. But if you want more than that, it's going to take some more stuff. Now, unlike on the Defiant, there's no like chickens and pigs and piglets running around down in here. This one seems to be a bit more clean and more organized than the previous one. Although it clearly took some damage. There was some kind of fight that took place in here at some point. You can see a little bit of blood on the floor, and there were some few things knocked around. But there is some knives, a butcher's block and some knives and that sort of stuff in here. There is some of the barrels have fruit and water in them and things like that. There are some dried
Be right
meats
back.
hanging up as well. So I mean, there is enough food here probably to do 30 people for the better part of like 5 days. Now remember, this king was going from west to east, so it wasn't going to go as slow as you guys are. So 30 people though for 5 days, you guys have 20 on here. And this should last maybe about a week, is what you would guess based on what you see in here. Opening up in here, you can see this is sort of a storage area with a ladder that goes up to a trapdoor. You're pretty sure this trapdoor goes up into the captain's quarters, and kind of pushing on it, it's definitely locked. But potentially is a way into the captain's quarters if you kind of want to do it. Otherwise, up in here is mostly things like, actually, this is where there's some weapon racks and things like that. Most of the weapons are typical things that are, things like cutlasses and that sort of stuff. But there is another dozen ballista bolts here, as well as some extra ballista arms and armitage and that sort of stuff to fix ballistas. And that's all you get through for the first 4 hours. At that point, I wanted to ask if anybody wanted to do anything else. Were they trying to do something specific or not?
Marcus is going to make time to talk to the new crew members, the ones we captured, and kind of assure them that, as long as they're bygones are bygones and we're all one ship now type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're on the ship. I think they're on the other
No,
ship.
there are a few.
Okay, didn't we get some?
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
few of them. They're definitely the minority on the ship, and there's only like of these. So there's the 5 that are scabs clearly, and then there are the other 5 that you have on here that 3 of them are originally from the ship. 2 of them are from actually 5 of them are originally from the ship. Those 5 are from the ship. 2 of them seem kind of indifferent to you, Marcus. 3 of them rebuff you almost immediately. You kind of try to talk to them, and one of them, his name is Galt. No, Galt's already on here. Never mind. His name is Finn. Finn's like, I've heard of you. I don't want anything to do with you and your friends.
What have you heard of us?
It doesn't matter what I've heard of you. I just know to avoid you. Good day.
Um,
And he moves on.
Reputations are good.
So 3 of them kind of do that particular kind of thing. The other 2 are kind of indifferent to you. They listen to you. You guys are working at the same time, so they kind of talk to you and that sort of stuff. But they're kind of more, maybe a little shell shocked in the sense that this is their new life now. They're pirates, and it's not what they signed on for when they got into the sea spray.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm trying to do the thing. When they say he's heard of us, and I ask him why, does he happen to glance towards the captain's quarters or anything like that?
Give me an insight. Give me an insight check.
Yeah. That's my guess, but just trying to get some.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Let's see, how am I rolling today? Standard.
He definitely kind of looks around when you are approaching him, but when you talk to him and he kind of says, "I've heard of you," like he was looking around to see where some things are clearly. But other than that, he didn't look after he told you he'd heard of you. He didn't look anywhere particular.
Oh.
All right, so about midday is when we got to this point. Scabs, who's been kind of in the captain's quarters, comes out and goes up to the helm, which is currently being so let's kind of set this up a little bit. Khan here, oops, I want it. The heavy set fellow is the one that's at the helm, and he Scabs comes up and next to him and starts talking to him. So Iylis, you've been occasionally telling Khan, "Hey, go this way, to the right, to the port, to the there's the other side, which I can't remember. I need to brush up on. Yeah, I need to brush up on my ship lingo. So you've been kind of doing that for him. At the same time, most everybody is here on the deck or up in the crow's nest or in the rigger. In fact, Rat was sent up to the crow's nest. He's pretty much been up there the whole time. So we'll kind of put him up here. This just means he's on the crow's nest. He's not actually standing on the end of the thing. You guys have been kind of moving around back and forth between the various places and the various stations. So after a moment, Scabs shouts out, "Look alive there, my mates. We are... Smell that wind. Smell the air. Look at our wonderful ship. Get to know your crew, mates. We're going to be at this for a bit. We're headed towards Flotsam. Pirate Haven. To do that, we are going through one of the little-known egresses in the wall. Silent Shoals. We should make it there by the morning the day after. In the meantime, I expect you to keep the ship in tip-top shape. Hylough, you and Marcus, I need you guys to start repairing various aspects of the ship. Clearly, the ship took some damage during the raid, so not enough to make it not seaworthy, but enough that there's probably some holes in the side just above the waterline and a few things like that from cannon fire and stuff of that nature. So he's basically telling you two to start, repairing the ship.
Aye, Captain.
Consider yourselves Marcus, consider yourself promoted to carpenter.
Aye.
Wow. Congratulations.
It's a shit job.
Yeah, of course. But,
But it does sort of make you an officer, sort of.
Yeah, I have a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a title. Sailmaster, could we get some more speed? Iylis.
That's a no, I guess.
Did Robert run away?
Ran away or muted himself.
I guess. What are you guys doing for the next half day? Iylis does do something. It's not that big a deal. But what do you guys do for the next half day?
I guess Marcus and I are going to be fixing things.
Yeah.
So.
Do you wish to continue to do more exploration there?
As we fix, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking as we fix.
Most of the damage that you guys find, there actually is one leak down in the hold. I mean, so you guys go through initially and do an assessment. I mean, like any good carpenter would do, right, Marcus?
Yes.
And there are several new portholes along this side of the ship that you're going to have to fix. And there is a small leak happening just below the waterline in the hold itself. So you're going to potentially have to deal with that, although that's not as big a deal right now. It's probably just going to need a quick patch. The bilge, clearly there is... the ship itself is not as well, the ship is more seaworthy than the Defiant. Like there was a lot more water in the bilge on the Defiant than there is here on the Sea Sprays.
Apologies, I'm back.
But because of the leak that's above in the hold above, there's more water in here than you would expect. So you're gonna have to do some bilge pumping at some point as well. Hylough, while you guys are, and Marcus, because you're kind of with him, you guys get down into here. This is clearly a hold. There is some cargo in here. Most of the cargo that's in here that was left here by the captain, by the Mad Dog, is things like the food stuff. So there's more food down here in the hold for the ship, for the thing. And looking through that, you figure out that there's probably another 5 or 6 days for 30 people. So, you guys have plenty of food at this point. There are a few large casks. They were too big to kind of just pull out and put on the Defiant. You're not sure what's in them, but whatever it is sloshing, so it's probably a liquid of some sort. And then there are still a few 3 foot by 3 foot crates. There's 3 of them, and 1 4 foot by 4 foot crate, and a few sacks of what you guess is probably flour or something like that. Now, the last place you look in is this place right here, and this place is intriguing to you, to both of you, actually. First of all, it looks like some fight happened in here. That's the first thing. When you walk in, the place is trashed. Like there was probably a desk in here of some sort, and it is smashed. There are blood spattered papers kind of scattered all over the place. You can see black smudges of some sort, almost like fire or something like that. Partially in the center of the floor, and partially along the walls and the ceiling. Marcus, you kind of, and Hylough, you kind of guessed this might be where Rhux set off the explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird that they would set it off in here. This seems like a very small room to set off an explosive. You also see like a couple spots on the wall where it looks like somebody probably hit the wall and slid down, leaving a trail of blood. Like they hit hard enough for them to start bleeding as they slid back down the wall. So something very odd happened in this chamber during the fight.
Do we notice any damage from that explosion? It seemed like it would cause other damage.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cracks and some breaks in the floor, in the center floor, kind of where the black marks are. There's a bit of structural damage around the outside of the thing. And say one other thing. What's your guys' passive perceptions?
A 10.
And Marcus?
I always have to look that up. Where is that?
In the parentheses beside perception.
Yeah.
Oh, 13.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you guys notice about the thing is that there's some structural damage and a few things like that in here. I mean, it will definitely require some fixing, but it's not as dire as, say, the cannonball holes in the floor above or the leak that's happening over in the hole.
Well, I think what I like to do is, as I assess, is I'm going to start cleaning up, like gathering up those papers and, kind of like maybe this is important and setting those aside and other things like that. And
okay. Gathering up the papers, there's a lot of blood and black soot all over most of them. A couple of them, though, still have some writing on it. The writing is actually in it's in diary.
Oh.
Like actual diary, not common or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is a bit odd. Most things of this nature are not that. You, as a Seerly, you kind of recognize it. You've actually lived in diary lands for a bit, so you know a little bit of diary from a reading and writing standpoint, but not very much. Most people tend to use like common, and not the actual natural languages too much. Although in the future in this campaign world, I might get rid of common, but not for now. I'm trying to still be more D&D centric. So you have an idea that it seems to be some kind of manifest of some sort, but for some odd equipment. It's actually asking for magnetite, which most people don't ever care about magnetite. And it looks like it's asking for several barrels of it.
Do we know anything that magnetite's used for?
Not that you know of. I mean, maybe you've heard of these newfangled things called compasses that maybe that would have been used with, but the quantity that this is asking for is not to make compasses. That's for sure. Like, we're talking about, several barrels of it. And it's even more odd because it's being requested as several barrels of magnetite dust. So this rock is being ground up into dust.
That's our resident mage to see what he thinks.
All right. So at some point during that time, you approach Iylis about this.
Yes. I will do that, but let me real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this was the person who got let off, whether he was a mage or some type of powerful individual. I'm looking for secret compartments where he stored things while he was on his vessel.
Give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
As you
good. Another thing I'm so good at.
This particular thing.
Roll.
Waiting for it to show up. You already rolled it, but it's not showing up.
Okay. I'll get out and in.
I don't understand why you always have this issue.
I don't know. I would love. I've got a D20 right here, and I'll roll it real fast.
No, just come out and back in.
Oh, I'm gonna 0. You mean come out and in and do it?
Yeah, because I'm gonna. There's a thing called Simple Roller that I'm gonna add for next time, which basically just adds a die, a set of dice here over on the side, in amongst your stuff.
Right.
Which will
I shut the whole browser down, so it'll take a second. We'll go talk to our resident mage, and I'll roll in just a second.
Yeah. It is a bit odd, though, that you experience this so much.
I mean, I'm on Edge. Are you guys using Edge? Or?
No. Don't get
Chrome.
Chrome. Get the hell away from
using
Edge.
Microsoft Edge.
I use whatever I come up with first.
Edge is a piece of shit.
It can be.
Edge is
browser shaming. Browser shaming.
If you really are using Edge, John, I highly recommend using Chrome for this.
I've got Chrome. I switch back and forth. I'll do it in Chrome in just a second.
Just because I know that Edge's WebGL is not as up to date as Chrome's is. And that's most likely why your stuff is not working.
Okay, we're doing investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled it though. 18.
All right. There is an odd. So some of the damage. You're lucky you got an 18 because some of the damage seems to have revealed an odd kind of. You're kind of looking through and you're tapping on things, and you notice that a particular spot there's some damage where the boards are kind of cracked in a little bit. And it's weird because above it and below it they're not, and so this kind of reveals that there's some sort of weird little concavity there. And you tap on it and it sounds hollow.
Well, I will try to open it.
Okay. Give me a strength check because it's kind of broken.
Okay. I'll actually see if I can. Let's see if I can do it first.
I mean, yeah, if you're trying to open it, you need a strength check. All right, that's good enough, though. I mean, it's not that broken. So you kind of grab it and kind of pull it and eventually break the two pieces apart and pull it off. Back in there is a whole bunch more of pages, of parchment pages.
Okay.
They're a little bit wet because of the damage and things like that. There's some water getting in for this thing, but this is definitely a secret compartment.
Is this the actual manifest?
Pulling out the pages, there are whatever's on these things you can't read. It's strange symbols. Makes your eyes, they kind of swim before your eyes. Makes your head hurt a
Can you
bit.
read this?
The same thing, Hylough.
Another thing for a resident sailmaster.
So it's not that it's just a different language. It's like they're screwing with our brain as we're trying to look at it.
No, it's a different language as well. They're written in some strange language.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe either of you know the language, but I should check just to be safe.
I just know
Cerulean.
Cyrilly?
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah,
Cyrilly.
Too many.
So I think we're gonna have 10 minutes. I could do a identify.
You're not sure you should take the time of it right now, but
Okay.
I mean, you are assessing what's going on down here. Every so often, somebody like Galt or Iylis comes down and checks on you.
That's what I was wondering. So yes, I will.
Is it
I will
every 10
ID
minutes? You're not sure if you get 10 minutes every time between things.
No, I won't do that. I'll just we'll stash these and.
Okay, so you kind of stash them out. It's about it's about a dozen pages. Some of the pages have some diagrams and stuff on them, and strange like for lack of a better term, symbols. You're pretty sure because of the way the thing swims and stuff like that, Marcus, that this is probably magical of some nature.
Right.
Whether that magic is to prevent people from reading it, or this is an actual description or research of a spell, that you're not sure of. Like it could be either of them. You've never truly looked at a bunch of magical stuff before. Most of all your stuff has come from your voice. So.
Yeah, we use sheet music to real magic.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's just you know that if you do certain chords and sing certain melodies, it's the melody and the chord, not necessarily the words, that really make the difference here. And so that that's what kind of brings forth. It focuses the magic and the ambient magic in the world and causes effects.
David's secret chord.
Yeah,
that's kind of how your magic works. And if you guys ever meet up with a wizard, I'll give you even more information about how magic works in this world. But you haven't met any wizards yet. Well, technically you have, but you know. So you guys spend some more time doing that and start repairing some of the stuff. Up above, Dresd'a, Aaron, I would say Rhux, what are you doing? But he's not here. Iylis, what are you guys trying to do? Although Iylis, give me another. I actually gave you the wrong thing. It should be a wisdom roll, not an intelligence roll. So give me another.
Fast.
Give me a wisdom.
I would like to start on the hole under the underwater hole first.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's part of it.
That's fine.
I would like. Praedyth is going to make himself very useful in a specific way, and that way is administratively. So any task.
Praedyth has already been made a swab, and
well, I know he's going to be doing his job, but like while he's going to be trying to plant the seed, like how he helped Iylis with his navigation and stuff like that. He's going to be planting the seed of you know, his best use is not necessarily the physical swabbing of a deck, but more.
Well, I mean, you're also moving ropes around and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, but like he's trying to make it seem so that his strength is not strength. His strengths are helping run the thing, not so you know.
That guy has upper management written all over him.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably middle management.
Really middle management. Actually, lower management. Let's be honest. he's got a small stature.
Yeah.
Iylis, would you give me another wisdom check?
Wisdom check?
Yeah, intelligence was the wrong thing. It's fine. You got a 19 before.
Okay.
It's still been fine, but it's actually supposed to be wisdom.
Even better.
If you got that one.
Oh.
You rolled a wisdom save. Not the exact same thing as a check, but as long as it's
my bad. I'll just do the check then.
No, I'll just take the.
See, I'm good.
No, I'll take the 4 that you rolled. Oh, I mean, yeah, your wisdom save and your check is the same, so it doesn't matter. All right, so you
Go off the edge.
you go off the edge. You spend the next 4 hours, and it's tough going.
Well, since I helped him, am I able to help him again with?
No, not in this. You start tacking back and forth, and you just don't make it as far. Is all. So you're kind of like at a certain point, as it gets on towards evening, Scabs comes out and he kind of looks around and he takes assessment and he looks to the south and he sees, and you guys now, as you've been going, you notice to the south, there's a massive storm cloud that kind of shoots way up. It's like a big, huge thunderhead that seems to come, goes almost as far as your eye can see up into the sky, but only it comes down really low on the horizon. And for those of you who have done some seeing and Praedyth, you're pretty sure that is the storm that's in the center of the Arch Isles. But it's a massive thunderhead. And you can even see from this distance, you can see some arcing lightning every so often and things of that nature. Very strange. And every time you've seen it, Praedyth, it looks almost it no different in size. It's always just this big, always just this violent of a storm that's just always in that spot. And so he sees that and he's like, I would expect us to be a little bit further, Sailmaster. What's the deal?
I don't think I knew that was there.
What, the storm?
Yeah.
You did though.
Yeah, Praedyth told you.
Oh, that's right.
Right to tell you about it.
Well, anyways.
I see. Well, get us back on time and schedule. You assume that he means extra gusts and basically start using your spell slots. Start using your spell slots instead of just a cantrip.
Can I do like a history check to see if I know when the storm was first seen, or is it like
sure,
as
you can
long
give me
as
a
anyone
history check.
remember?
That's fine. Yeah.
Bam.
As far as you know, I mean, again, you haven't really spent time looking at it as you go by. The last thing you ever heard somebody say is that it's been there during their entire lifetime. And it was a sailor of some sort, maybe 30, 40 years old at the most. So that's, at least it's been there for 30 or 40 years. That much you know.
Okay.
But maybe longer. In fact, he seemed to imply longer than that.
That's it. So the storm itself, is it like just a stationary cloud, or is it like a spinning kind of tornado cloud?
No, it's not a tornado cloud from what you can see. It's like a big, huge thunderhead. And it does change. It's not like it's static and it looks like the same thing over and over. It is changing over time.
Cumulonimbus.
But yeah, I mean, you can even see it kind of, as you guys are sailing over the next hour or so, you can see it change and grow and shrink and more lightning happening and all that sort of stuff if you take the time to look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching it the entire
time. It definitely is not static. It's not like and it's not a cyclone per se. It's you'd guess based on the distance you are from this, and you pull out a spyglass and a few things like that maybe it's probably not just one cloud. It's a series of maybe 3 or 4 clouds that are all kind of together, and the whole system is maybe slightly rotating, but not like a cyclone or anything like that. It's a slow rotation.
Okay.
So,
and it fills up like the entire space between
No, it does not. Like it's about let me draw something on here real quick. It's probably maybe about something like that.
So is that just at the very center then?
Yeah, but it's at the very center.
Okay.
So it's not super large. It doesn't do the whole thing, but it is something sort of near the center, and it's pretty ominous looking. All right, so that's been another 4 hours. It's now getting on evening. You can see that most of you are kind of, a few of you are given. No, let me start over again. It is time for dinner. You get your typical dinner. In this case, all you get is some hardtack and some dried meat. It seems that Scabs finally realized that there was nobody providing food, so he sent somebody down there, and it turns out that Track, the mute, basically comes up with he brings up a barrel and he starts handing out hardtack and some meat, and that's what you get for dinner. And then he's like, and Scabs is like, huh, yeah, this is not gonna do. I have a volunteer to become chef, a cook.
I'll volunteer.
Aaron's gonna volunteer to become cook.
Yeah.
Scabs kind of looks at you for a bit and he's like, sure. Although that new guy over there is gonna be your helper. And he points at the Finn. At Finn.
Okay.
And he kind of narrows his eyes at you a little bit. It's like, all right, tomorrow you will be the cook. You'll make something good. The rest of you, all of you are getting really tired because let's be honest, you did the fight, you did a party. You haven't had a long rest. It's been pretty much almost 24 hours. Including almost everybody. Like occasionally you actually saw Galt stumble. He's a dwarf. He stumbled and almost fell over. He's already low to the ground, got a low center of gravity because he's just looking super tired. Scabs is the only one who seems to be kind of awake. I have a funny feeling maybe he's been napping. But at this point in time, Scabs directs Galt, Marcus, Rhux, and Dresd'a, and 2 of the new crewmen to be the night crew. So you guys are going to be the night crew, and that tomorrow you guys will be able to get you'll be able to be off during the day.
Oh, word?
What do you want?
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay then.
Dresd'a, Marcus, give me a Constitution ability check.
Constitution ability check.
Yeah. Everybody else starts to set up for their sleep that night. While you guys
wants to pray.
Pardon?
Praedyth wants to pray.
All right.
Wants to see if his gods.
Marcus, you take a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
Yeah, I clicked it, but it's not sure. Let me try it again. My computer is acting a little funky. Constitution.
Ability check.
I do want to roll insight when he assigns us. Do I think there's something behind his plans? Like,
go ahead.
he's intentionally getting certain people?
Go ahead. Iylis, you didn't need to do a Constitution check. You're fine.
Oh.
You're getting
Okay.
a lot. You're getting sent to
Oh, well.
rest.
Okay.
I mean, you're pretty sure he hates you guys anyway, Marcus, and that your current feelings about this is coloring your ability to read him. You're just reading everything into it as he's trying to fuck you.
Yep.
Ooh.
Doesn't mean he's not.
Yeah, doesn't mean he's not. It's just you're currently reading that into everything.
Got it.
I'm gonna have to log out and back in because I can see everything, but must not be connected to the server or something. I'm clicking and I did the whisper and
No, you're not on here. It says you're not here.
Okay.
I see Brian, Chad, Cole, John, Robert. That's it. No cat.
Well, alrighty then.
You're definitely not connected.
Okay. Dang it.
So we got a long rest yet, or do you need to do? We need to.
No, you guys gonna do some watches?
Yeah.
All right.
Be good.
La
I'll
la
be,
la la la
Right back.
la 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 BTT. Let's try this again. Am I in now?
I don't see a cat yet.
Okay. It says I'm connected and I got a black screen.
See a cat yet? That doesn't mean you aren't connected. It might just take a little bit.
Hey, Peter, what's the minimum size crew for this vessel? What do I think?
It could be like the 20 you guys currently have is there. You go, cat. You're on now. Is
Yay!
enough, but and you could probably, it'd be tough, but you could probably do it with half that, with 10 or 12. I mean, it'd be really tough. You wouldn't want to do it that way for very long. The ideal crew complement for this is somewhere between 20 and 30.
Okay.
All right, so Dresd'a, you do not get a level of exhaustion. You're doing perfectly fine. Bring on the late night. The rest of you start settling in. You guys are going to do watches, right?
yeah, I'll do first watch.
All right, so Hylough's going to do
Also
first.
do first.
Aaron's going to do first.
We don't have enough to do all three.
I was gonna
with
say, I
just
mean-
a few of us.
Oh, then I'll do second.
Aaron's going to do second. Who's going to do third?
Iylis?
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Rhux could do it too if you prefer. All right, so you guys start settling in. Marcus, you light some oil lamps on the ship so you can kind of see. Khan goes to bed, but Sefu is now manning the. Oops, did not mean to do that. Manning the. Khan actually is up here in the front. We got Iylis up here in the front. We've got Sefu. Sefu becomes the.
Is Sefu the mute?
No, Track is the mute.
Yeah. Which one is Sefu?
Sefu is the guy I just put up here as the new runner of the helm.
No, I mean, which one is he as far as we know him? Which one of the crew is he?
This guy right here. He is one of Scab's guys.
Yeah, no, that's what I was wondering which one it was. Okay.
He's the African American. He's the.
They have Africa there?
No, but as a reminder,
He's an islander.
this is Sefu.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Good bad dude.
All right, so Iylis, Hylough, Rhux is down here. Oh, right, 2 of these guys are helping you guys, so I'm gonna leave them up here on deck. Marcus is up here. Aaron is down here. I'm just kind of throwing you guys in some place. And you guys can put yourself wherever you want. Praedyth, you start praying. Nothing really happens. Blend B down here. All right, the rest of you are kind of like the evening starts. Marcus, you light some oil lamps. Dresd'a, Rat actually stays up in the crow's nest. You actually think he might be asleep up there because he never comes down. Yeah, you guys get started kind of waiting out the long night. I'm going to do you guys first real quick. The first half of the night goes without problems. We're on the 27th. It's a relatively dark night. Most of the moons are either the small ones or the large one is kind of getting towards the end, the last quarter, past the last quarter. So it's not going to be up until, late past midnight and things like that. For the most part, the ship continues to move forward. At a certain point, past midnight, you hear more than see some thunder, and you think that maybe a squall is coming in. The ship starts to rock a little bit more heavier. The waves start to get a little bit higher. Nothing to be alarmed about. You've been on the sea enough now to realize this is just a typical squall. It's not going to be too heavy. It'll probably just run through, do things like that.
Okay.
Hylough, during your watch, that's pretty much nothing really happens. Everybody kind of settles in and starts. Most people are so exhausted from the last day and a half that they pretty much fall asleep almost immediately. What I do need you to do is give me a Constitution ability check, though.
Where is it? Wicked. Ability. Okay, here we go.
You nod off and fall asleep.
Yeah.
And you're so far asleep, and everybody else. Let's see, who was second? Aaron, give me a Constitution saving throw, or not saving throw, ability check.
Okay. There it is.
Aaron, you do wake up though, and it seems like you wake up and you kind of with a start, and you're like, Hylough didn't wake you up, but it is definitely still dark. You hear there is a single oil lamp in here. There are always one or two on the ship, even at night. That's kind of swaying a little bit. The ship is rocking a bit. You're definitely going through some rougher sea, that you're pretty sure of. You can hear the patter of rain kind of hitting the deck above. But it doesn't. It's not like it's a torrential downfall. It's more of just like a gentle rain kind of thing. But Hylough didn't wake you up. But looking over there, you can see he's just fallen asleep, kind of sitting up against the post that his bunk is kind of tied to. Looking around though, you notice that True is gone. She's not anywhere in the thing. Up on deck, Marcus. You feel a touch on your back as rain is starting to fall. The storm is coming through. Rain is starting to fall, and someone touches your arm as you're kind of moving some ropes around in the rain.
Kind of not. Snuck up on me.
Pardon? I have no clue what you said.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry, I had to tag team the dog down the cat. Act like they didn't surprise me, but I'm pretty sure they surprised me.
Yeah, turning around, you see True in the dark. She seems to be enjoying the storm and the rain, and she's like, I thought maybe you would like some company.
I'd love some company. Is this your kind of weather, I assume?
Vasedra lives in these storms. It is said she lives over there, and she points vaguely in the direction of the Arch Islands in the storm that is there. I'm not sure if she does or not. At some point, I might try to brave the ghost ships in the mist and see if maybe she does.
Perhaps when you're older, or if I'm older, I will accompany you, because I'm always interested in adventure.
See. Why do you think Scabs chose you, or more specifically, me, for this crew? Just getting right to the point, seems.
To get rid of us is my assumption. What do you think? It'll take about half the crew to sail it.
There are half of us, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm wondering why we're on duty first. Also, while I'm on duty, I imagine there may be something that happens tomorrow where I won't get rest.
Maybe, or maybe it's just that he's trying to keep you while you're sleeping, keep you away from something else during the day. Who knows? I mean, the man is strange, and I don't know. I don't like him. Neither does Blinby. Blinby's been trying to get closer to Galt and Khan and Lys and those, and every now and then she's caught them having discussions about something. I'm not sure what, but hopefully we'll learn more tomorrow.
Well,
What
if
are
they're
your
involved, I'm
thoughts?
not sure it will be good for us.
What are your thoughts on taking over the ship?
You are correct. It may have to happen. I'm not naive enough to think we will all make it to.
I don't understand this going through the shoals. Like, we can easily go through the northern route and come cut down through. I mean, I don't know exactly where Flotsam is. Skybs is holding that one to his chest quite a bit. I've never been there myself, so I'm assuming he knows where it is, but I don't think it's there. I think it's probably down in the skeleton keys, the spine keys. Sorry, that's what they're called. Much farther south. So we could either go further north, or why wouldn't we go straight south and take the southern route? This just seems odd to me.
Perhaps he's needing a vessel there, or he means to.
She's helping you do work while you're doing this, like
Yeah.
while you guys are talking. She's not. You guys are just sitting on the edge talking. By the way,
Have I ever heard where rumors of where Flotsam is? Is it to the south, or
you're not sure where Flotsam is either. You know that it's one of the pirate havens. You know you've heard Sarah tell you about Flotsam and Jetsam, and that Flotsam is supposedly somewhere in the Sea of Tears, and Jetsam is supposedly somewhere over near in the Northern Ocean or the Avelin Isles or somewhere in the east. But she has no idea where they are, and neither do you.
I fear we'll find out on the morrow, but I agree with stay on guard. And yes, it won't. I don't think it bears us any comfort to know that he's taking us this way.
Well, I'm glad that you and I see eye to eye.
Of course.
I know
I believe he's been talking to the new crew members. They've been told to stay away from me, so.
I'm not sure if it's just you. I believe he's. I mean, you're talking about Finn, and he has a couple of friends.
Yes,
I remember. Didn't you tell me that Galt had talked to three of the men?
Did I tell her that?
Well, I mean, you saw it last time. Galt talked to three guys.
Yes,
remember?
I did.
And those three are the three that are on the thing that basically were avoiding you or telling you to leave them alone.
Yes, I did. I think he's recruiting.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know about those other two. They seem to keep to themselves, but
they seem like they're still in shock of being here. Perhaps they wish to be a more noble pursuit.
That's possible. Possible. I'm not sure though. I think you guys, you and your friend, you and the rest of your compatriots should be on the ready tomorrow, just in case something happens. Although we won't make it to the shoals for another, probably till the morning of the following day. So we have some time.
Who can sell a vessel here if we get rid of the scabs in his route? Who do we have that will?
I mean, so far your young sailmaster is doing okay. I mean, he kind of screwed up the tacking there for a bit, but
he is young.
I'm doing my best.
I know.
And maybe, I mean, do we have any of our older crew? Like, we have Rat. Does he have any? Do we feel? And this is
Rat knows more. Rat could probably do some stuff. I mean, he's older crew in the sense that he's like a 12-year-old kid, though. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
He's not exactly.
But do we have anyone from the old ship that wrecked the original ship that might give us some?
Rat is the only one.
That is the only one. That's what I was afraid of.
The old Maiden's Folly crew. I mean, at this point in time, there's the 7 of you guys and Rat, so you have 8. You assume you can count on True, probably Blinby, but that's the only set you know that's 10. That's half of the people on the ship. You have half for sure. It's just a question of whether or not you can convince those 2 that are sort of on the fence or if half is enough to try to take the ship. I'm not going to say the M word.
Right. But true, I agree. Sooner the better. He will tear us apart in his reasonable, air quotes there, request of having us work extra and the harder jobs. Well, he and his lackeys save their energy.
Fair enough. Well, I should get back to my bunk before someone notices.
Always good to learn more.
And she takes off and starts heading back down. Down there below, Aaron, you're awake. You're not sure exactly what time it is, but definitely well past midnight for sure. That you're sure of. You kind of get up and head into the galley and look out the porthole. It's clearly raining outside. There's an occasional thunder or occasional lightning flash, very occasional. And when you see through that, it's again hard to tell what time it is. When you come back from doing that, you see that that True is actually just getting back into her bunk. She's wet. Clearly, she was up on deck. But that's all you notice. You kind of count the time for a bit until you assume it's time to wake Iylis, and then you go wake him up. Top side, Dresd'a, Marcus, the rest of the evening about maybe, you would guess maybe a couple hours before dawn, the storm kind of lets up and finally starts to just turn into more of a drizzle, and eventually, as the eastern side just starts to lighten up a little bit, the drizzle even stops. It's now just overcast. As the sky starts to lighten. At that point, you guys hear a bell. You on board. You guys hear a and everybody else eventually hears it. It's not the same thing as the clock bell on the Defiant, but you get the gist that it's probably the same thing, that you're supposed to fall into line as soon as possible. Everybody except for Marcus and Dresd'a gets a long rest. So you may do your long rest. And the ship... Sorry, let me do this here real quick. Is now pretty much due north of the Arch Isles. So you can see. And let me take you back to the sea spray so that you can click on yourselves to do long rests if you wish. Let me have Rhux do a long rest real quick. He will get one. Utility, long rest. All right, so only one we're missing is Praedyth and Iylis need to do their long rests. The day dawns. You guys come back up on top. Get your new assignments for the day. Marcus and Hylough. Marcus, you're basically being told to go get some rest. Same with you, Dresd'a. Hylough, you're expected to continue performing repairs. You guys yesterday were able to get the main leak on the hold fixed. At this point, it's up to you what you want to do next. Whether you want to do the cannonball holes or try to maybe fix up that one room, up to you. Iylis, you're again still sailmaster. Aaron, you're going to now become cook, so we'll have you do some survival roll at some point today. Otherwise, instead of doing a 4-hour increments, you guys are starting to settle in at this point. What do you want to do during the day?
Oh, I also wanted to mention that I took so I already had detect magic, I realized. So I took shield instead.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I also got lightning lure as a cantrip.
Okay.
I think that fits well.
I did forget something yesterday, so we'll assume that it happens today. As you guys are kind of swapping crews out, Marcus, did you want to mention to Iylis about the pages?
Pages?
Yes, I did, definitely. and the
I do hope you would mention
And the
to
stone.
Praedyth about the pages.
And the
Praedyth
stone.
might know more.
Well, he mentioned.
Oh.
Do you pass him off to him or anything?
Well, yeah, I'll give
Marcus,
it like a...
do you pass him off to?
Yeah, so I passed them off to
Iylis?
him.
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking.
Okay, well, I might do a detect magic on it.
Okay. At some point during the day, you find some time to try to do a detect magic. They are magical.
Do I have to spell slot that?
Yeah, because it is a first level spell. I mean,
I don't know if I could ritual it.
No, you don't have, as a sorcerer, you don't have ritual casting.
You have a fair point there.
So yes, they are magical.
What can I tell? What kind of magic they are?
The answer is.
Can I do like an Arcana check?
Yes, you can. I have to look up the spells.
I'm sorry, it's making me place a ring.
That's fine.
You can delete it.
Yeah. I have to look it up. Yeah, you're not sure exactly what the magic is. Well, I mean, you're gonna know what the magic is. You just don't know what it means. I just have to find the spells real quick. Just a second. These aren't in the thing yet. I mean, they will be after tonight, but they aren't currently. One of them. So it turns out that you think that these like it's a dozen pages. Or a little less than this. It's like 11 pages. There are definitely 3 spells in here, or three of the pages. Sorry, 3 of the pages are magical. Or yeah, 3 of the pages are magical. The rest of them are magical, but only in the sense that it seems like there's an alteration on them, on the whole thing. But the 3 pages that have different things are, one is transmutation. One is transmutation. 2 of them are transmutation. One is evocation. You're not sure what they say. At least I don't think you do. Let me see. You might be able to read it anyway. You might have been able to read it even without doing the detect magic. I just need to see your languages. Oh my god, with this class, or with this thing set up, I'm not sure where your languages are at. Where are your languages, my friend? Oh, here we go. No, you can't read it either.
I didn't think so.
All right. Did you want to pass them off to Praedyth at some point?
Yeah, I think Praedyth might know a little bit more about this kind of stuff. He does a little bit more translate.
So you guys are trying to do this all in between your jobs at the same time. So I'm going to have you do a deception check at some point here, Iylis.
Word.
Like with Marcus and Hylough, they were kind of doing it while they were in the spot.
Yeah,
with their
but
jobs.
like I'm casting a spell.
Yeah, you're literally casted a spell. You cast a spell. All right, good enough deception check. You're able to kind of find a time to do that and avoid. Giving it to Praedyth, he doesn't even need to do a spell. He has his lovely ability to read anything. 3 of these things are definitely spells, Praedyth. One is a spell that seems to manipulate gravity itself and magnify it.
Okay.
Another one takes that even further and makes it so that an object becomes immovable. I'm trying to make sure I have exactly what to do for you. Just gotta find them. Again, I had them and then I got rid of them. All right, here we go. Yeah, but it will only do that for like an object that only weighs about 10 pounds or less for that immovable object one. the magnify, the one that seems to increase gravity, seems to be an area of effect thing. And it's kind of, doubles or triples the amount of gravity in a particular, in that like a 10-foot area. And the last one kind of does the sort of the opposite. It sort of magnifies gravity, but in such a way that it causes a pressure wave to fire out and push people and or objects and things away from them and damage them. So the gist is, you now have this is a formula book detailing 3 gravity spells: Magnify Gravity, which is a 1st level spell, transmutation spell, that causes 2d8 force damage in a 10-foot radius, or any creature in a 10-foot radius. Immovable object, like I said, it makes an object that is 10 pounds or less basically seem to weigh upwards of 4,000 pounds for an hour. And the last one is called Pulse Wave, and it's basically sort of the equivalent of a thunderous fireball to some extent. 66 force damage.
Am I able to copy these spells?
No.
So it would be one use only.
Well, you're not currently able to copy the spells. Does a warlock have a spell book? How does a warlock learn spells?
That's a good question.
I think they're granted by their patron. I don't think they can do that. I think it's wizards.
I'm not so sure they can either.
Well, I know there is one. I didn't choose that, but there is one that has a definite spell book. But I don't know about anything else.
Yeah, that's the
Pact of the Tongue. But I didn't take that one.
I wonder if these gravity spells have something to do with the lore.
Well, I'll read the rest. It's just the first.
The rest of it seems to be gravity research. So the rest of it, you can read because of your ability, but you are pretty sure that there is some kind of magical spell. No, you can't actually read it. The whole point is, actually, give me an Arcana check.
Sure. Yep.
That will tell me if you can read it.
Yeah.
Get the. So you are unable to read the rest of it, and you are pretty sure that's because there is some kind of cipher spell on it. It's basically a spell on these pages to try to make them unreadable, unless you either dispel it or provide some kind of command word that will make it reveal it to you. And it's confusing your ability as well.
Okay.
If you had gotten a 10 or higher, you would have been able to read it.
Just missed it.
I solemnly swear I am up to no good.
So if you could dispel it with a dispel magic, you could probably read them, but unfortunately you can't. I was just looking at it. It sort of sounds like the warlock just knows their spells because they're being provided by their patron, like John was talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You don't necessarily gain any new. You gain them at certain levels, but can we first?
Like the Path of Attune can copy ritual spells. It says.
Yeah, he's not that.
Yeah, no.
Pack of the Tome. You're a pack of something else.
I'm pack of the Talisman.
Talisman, yeah. So yeah, you can read them and you know their spells, but you're unable to do anything with them. So yes,
so I can't even cast them off the page.
Them off the page, yes.
But that would be one use.
Mm-hmm. It'd be the equivalent of a scroll.
Is Iylis able to copy?
Iylis is a sorcerer. His power is innate.
So he's not able to copy.
Comes from within.
I would say that Iylis could spend some time and try to understand the spells if you were to able to, like, they're written in Draconic, so it's hard for him to. You would literally have to translate them. You'd have to translate them into an actual form that he could read, and then he could read through it sort of understand the spell itself and try to work through how to turn that into a spell that he could innately do. So the answer sort of is yes, he could do that.
Okay.
Magnify Gravity is a first level spell. I think Immovable Object is a second level spell, and Pulse Wave is a third level spell.
Right. All right. Well, I might
Heard of no gravity spell before.
Nope, this is all new stuff.
I might spend some time translating.
Magnify Gravity is first level, Immovable Object is second, and Pulse Wave is third.
Now, is Dispel Magic's like a third level
It's
spell?
a third level spell, yes.
So we can't even get it yet.
Nope. Not currently. And since the spell has already confused your Arcana stuff, you can't try.
There's no. Yeah. Okay.
No. No, I would allow you to try when you gain another level, but.
Okay.
But
well. So I gotta wait.
Yep. Or somebody else has.
Well, what do I know the language that
you don't know? Like it's the other pages are being scrambled by this spell, so you're not even sure what the other language is. Like at this point in time.
Okay.
The whole thing is just being scrambled. You assume that it's either Draconic, like the spells were, or probably Common or something like that. It's not like it's some complex language. It's just completely scrambled.
Okay. All right.
Give me a Wisdom ability check, Iylis. That water vehicle thing.
Boy.
As you guys continue to make your way, now sort of turning south.
Man.
You're not having a good one there.
I'm not having a good time.
It's not as bad as the second half of yesterday was, but it's still kind of bad. You guys sort of make you actually kind of go past a little bit where you intended to go, and start to head down the trade route. But you actually start. The reason why you even notice any of this is that Scabs is up on the deck with you guys for a bit, and he's like has the sky glass out, and the crow's nest. Somebody shouts, "Ship ahoy!" And you're like, "How?" Scabs like, "What do you mean a ship?" And then he realizes, because he looks around with a spyglass, he's like, "Oh my God, we got into the trade route. Get us south. Head south. To port. And, they start setting the port, and he glares at you, Iylis. He's like, "Do you not know your directions, boy?"
I thought you said Weast.
Weast.
I think it's time for you to make an example of you. Galt. The whip. Galt comes in with Track, and Track basically grabs you and takes you to the main mast and ties you to it, and you get 3 lashings.
No, I'm trying my best.
Try better.
Well, I'm mad.
And the ship starts heading south. Let's give me one more check.
Hold on.
Can I? Because my Pact of the Talisman, and I fail an ability check, I can add a D4.
That's a little better.
Well, I mean, you actually make up for it. The whip, the lashings seem to help, and you guys start coming down through here on the northwest side of the Arch Islands, heading towards the thing. Dresd'a and Marcus, you guys get your long rest in.
Awesome.
Real quick.
Surprising, but awesome.
Real quick, Aaron, give me a survival check as you try to make food.
Okay.
And then I'll get back to you, Praedyth.
Big numbers. Okay.
12's good enough. You make something that's okay. I mean, you come up with something.
Better than yesterday?
Yeah, it's better than just some hardtack and some dried meat. I mean, you take some of the dried meat and kind of make a stew out of it with some of that sort of stuff and provide that. And so you guys get a decent meal. It's a little better than what you had the previous days. Praedyth, what were you asking? What were you going to ask? Sorry.
My pact is Pact of the Talisman, and it's when I fail an ability check, I can add a D4 to it.
Right.
Can I do that for the Arcana check, or is it too late?
I would say at this point it's too late.
All right. Yeah, I just forgot about it.
No, that's, yeah, sorry. If I hadn't told you that all you needed was a +1,
Yeah.
Then I would let you have done it. But it is now evening. Hylough, Iylis, or Hylough and Rhux and Iylis, along with 2 different of the sailors, are going to be night duty tonight. So he is rotating. Scabs is clearly rotating people. So Marcus, you just happen to be picked first. That's all.
Okay.
It's what it seems like. I need to bring Rat back down here into the thing. So it is now anybody before trying to get in sleep for the night. Anybody doing anything? Hylough and Rhux and I said Iylis, right? You guys will be up on deck doing your stuff. Iylis, you're being given the helm to just try to keep the ship straight and kind of going. The rest of the other guys are doing the typical night kind of stuff, trimming the sails. Like the sails get mostly trimmed back so you don't really go very fast at night because there's not a lot of people watching, especially on this ship. If you had a full crew complement, you might actually do a lot more night running. But given where you're at near the wall and things like that, you guys are not really moving that quickly during the night. Anybody trying to do anything before sleep?
Do we have any cards?
Go fish.
Unless somebody has some gaming pieces or something like that as part of their background, no.
Dang.
Nobody brought cards. Sabir was the one who had the cards on the other ship.
Well,
Might I recommend Gamblers Anonymous?
Anybody doing watches for the evening?
So,
Yeah, I do mine.
Well, Hylough, you're not doing watch. You're actually.
Oh, that's right. I'm working.
You're working.
Yeah.
I'll take a second watch.
I'll take third watch again.
Iylis, you're also working.
Well,
First watch.
well, I won't be forever.
Who did I have? Rhux.
Who's got third watch? Rhux.
Rhux is working. So anybody who's
got it.
here in this middle part is working. Anybody who's down here is sleeping.
I'll do first watch.
All right. So Dresd'a's going to do first. Marcus second. Aaron last. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. You guys start settling in, start doing stuff. The clouds at about midnight kind of start to break. It's been overcast the whole day, but they start to break apart at midnight. You start to see the stars, Hylough and Iylis and Rhux and the people who are up top. The ship is gently lapping. It's you're in shallower water because the waves had already started to come down just because you're in a shallower spot as you're getting closer to the wall. The sea tends to rise up, like where you were at in the north, maybe 500 feet deep in places. Here it's probably maybe 30 or 40 feet deep. As you get closer to the wall, it'll probably drop to 20. And you assume near the shoals and stuff, it's going to be 5 feet or less, depending on what's going on. Downstairs, Dresd'a, your first watch goes by without any incident. Most everybody again falls asleep pretty quickly. There's still like you're basically kind of during the day doing double duty, like you're doing more jobs than you really should be, in the sense that there really should be at least 1 or 2 more people riggers, a couple more swabs, that sort of stuff, especially since they moved a couple people down into other jobs like carpentry and the cook. They're no longer helping out in those areas, so most people just fall asleep pretty quickly. At one point though, Dresd'a, as you're waiting, as you're kind of just watching and keeping your own watch of this stuff, you notice Blimby kind of roll over and look around for a moment, and then she kind of looks at you and she's like, "Shh." and she kind of motions for you to follow her. And she gets out of the bunk and she heads into the galley. Do you follow her?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get inside there, she kind of gently closes the door, and then she moves all the way back to the backside, and she, in a whisper, she's like, "So I was able to finally overhear some of the conversation between Khan and Galt earlier today, and there's something that came up that I think you guys should know. He said something about Sorry. I'm trying to find my note on this. He said that they were talking about dropping off the troublesome lot when we get to the shoals. I can only assume they mean you guys and maybe me and True. I'm not sure. Just figured you should know, and you should let your leader know too. The captain? I don't know. Not Scabs. Marcus guy.
So what did she mean? They're gonna do what to the shoals?
No, Khan was talking to Galt, and they talked about dropping off the troublesome lot. That's
okay.
That's what
Sorry,
they said.
I didn't hear that part. Gotcha.
When we get to when they got to the shoals. So I don't know what that means. I can only assume it means, you guys and us.
Yeah, well, even if it wasn't us, that's not right to maroon somebody.
I didn't get the intent that they were going to maroon you. I think they were going to kill you.
Oh, even worse. Okay.
Sorry.
Maroon you. Oh, such wide-eyed innocence. She kind of looked at you when you said it. She's like, "No, I don't think the drop off here is to maroon. I think to kill you."
Oh, well, that's bad. That's really, really bad. Thank you. Wow.
No, I think that's
So
his
what are we going to
intent.
do?
What
are we gonna do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, talking to True about it, she said that she talked to your Marcus guy and suggested that we try to take the ship.
Okay.
I don't know when a good time to do that is. I mean, did you guys get your equipment back from before getting on the ship?
I didn't, but I don't need it for the time being.
You did get your equipment back.
I got something back.
I mean, you got
everything back.
You didn't quite get everything.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, you guys bought it back with the stuff.
Dum. Yes, we did.
Oh, good. Then this might be easier than I thought. You guys seem pretty capable. I mean, you held out the
And do you need anything?
stern. No. I've got stuff. We've been on this ship far longer than you guys have.
Okay.
We've got most of our stuff back a long time ago. In fact, True and I joined on. We didn't have the problem you guys did.
Oh. That's interesting. So I wonder why they're so mean to us.
Because you were taking their stuff, according to what the rumors say.
Yeah, but
you guys were living in the pirate cove, eating their food, taking their stuff,
having a good old time.
So they considered it payment or something like that. I don't know. Mad Dog was a little upset about all that. You're just lucky he didn't just. You're just lucky all he killed Hall was the one guy and not the rest of you.
Oh, okay. I thank the gods for small favors, I guess.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys should coordinate and come up with some signal for maybe we trying to fight for the thing or something. I don't know. I should talk about it more in the morning or something like that. But I figured you should know tonight and let your leader know. So
I'm thinking maybe the code word could be roll initiative. If you hear that, that means we're gonna fight.
What do you mean roll initiative? Are we playing a dice game? What's going on here?
Exactly. That's exactly what they'll think. They won't suspect anything.
I see.
When the third crow caws, that is the time.
Or the raven.
As much as they like to gamble on this ship, it's perfect.
I see. Well, there hasn't been any gambling the last 2 days because no one has any dice or cards.
Yeah.
And I just realized that I forgot to put Lewis out on the boat.
Oh yeah, just to make it official, I recalled my raven after it died.
Yes, I figured. All right. Well, I mean, till tomorrow, get a good night's sleep. We're gonna need it if we're gonna have to fight him, because we'll be at the shoals by probably very soon after morning. And she heads back into the thing. Gets back into her bunk and you know, gets ready to sleep. Rest of your thing goes by without incident. Do you wake up Marcus, who's going to be second watch?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell him about the conversation I just had and what's going on.
Okay, so she relays that information to you, Marcus.
Yeah.
And make sure you pass it on when you wake up the others in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Maybe we should take the ship tonight.
While they're sleeping?
Perhaps.
That's actually not a bad idea. Because everybody's working up on deck, and most of the guys are going to be sleeping
Well,
there.
if we keep people out of the crossfire, we'd have to do it quickly, though.
Yeah. I'm going to ask what's her face.
What's her
What do you
face?
think? What do you think of that idea?
She's sleeping. I mean, she went back to sleep.
Oh, I didn't think it was that long. I thought I just woke up. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she talked to you kind of early in your watch. After everybody else had kind of gone to sleep, she talked to you. You've had another about 2 hours of watch since she was done.
Okay.
Which one of their members is on watch this evening?
You don't you know that it's it's 3 of your guys and 2 of the new sailors, but you don't remember exactly which 2, but looking around, it looks like one of the on the fence guys and one of the guys that was avoiding you. As far as you know, none of the rest of Scab's crew is on night shift tonight. But you do notice that Rad is down here. So who's up in the crow's nest?
Huh.
That's very true. We should check that. Okay. Wake everyone up.
Are you gonna wake everybody up, including everybody?
No.
How are you approaching this?
Just our
allies.
All right, so give me a stealth check as you try to go around to try to just wake up the people you want to wake up.
Do we know for certain who's on our side and who's not?
No.
Because we could assassinate them in their sleep.
I don't even know I'm on your side.
Yeah, Iylis doesn't like you guys at all.
Iylis really likes being whipped.
Yes, he totally loves being whipped at the main mast. He's got
I'm all over it.
He's all about that whipping.
So, I would like to. Do we have rope to tie people down here?
Well, are you going to wake people up? If so, I need a stealth check because.
Well, I know. Hang on just a second. I'm trying to figure out something out. So the ones who we're not sure about and that crew of 2, do I think we could gag them and tie them up while they're asleep without much problems?
You would definitely get a surprise round on them. That is for sure. But then you'd have to grapple them and do that particular sort of stuff. Like, I would give you a surprise run on them. I would give you advantage on any grappling check that you made. You would probably need to have at least a couple people do the grappling on their 2 turns so that one would grab them, the other one would try to hold their mouth quiet while you then did the rest of the stuff.
We should probably start with Scabs.
Do we have chloroform?
No.
Is there a way to lock people down below?
To lock them down below? Not that you know of. Not that you've seen.
Okay.
Like you would have to restrain them.
Well,
do we have a window we could throw them out of?
There's some portholes down here, but nobody's going to
want them not in the way.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to throw anybody out the portholes. Over the ship railing, yes, but not at the portholes.
So what I will do is I am going to change forms.
To what?
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self
Okay.
on myself.
Okay.
Who do I know that's sleeping right now in the cabin?
Scabs.
Well, other than Scabs.
Scabs
one of
is
those
in the
three.
captain's cabin, as far as you know. As far as you know, the people that have been in the main, the other cabin have been Galt, Lys, Sefu, Track, those 4.
Who was up today on deck?
All of them were.
Okay.
No, that's not true. I think Galt was sleeping today. Oh, actually, how would you know? You were sleeping all day.
That's what I'm asking Dresd'a.
Dresd'a doesn't know she was sleeping all day.
Oh, how about since you can disguise yourself as Scabs, why don't you sneak in his minions' quarters and tell them to postpone the plan for 2 more days because he.
I think
That's a great idea. I like that idea.
Okay, so try to wake up Hylough
All right,
quietly.
give me a stealth check as you're trying to wake them up quietly.
Yeah, let me see if my stealth is gonna. Yeah, okay, I'll try.
Can't wake me up. I'm on deck.
Yeah, Hylough's on deck. The only people who are down there are the people, like I said, everybody who's up here is
Aerra and
currently in the
Praedyth.
thing. Everybody who's down here is people.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna
Aaron-
wake up Praedyth.
Okay, so give me a stealth check to get over to Praedyth. You're trying to be quiet about it.
Like you good or bad?
All right,
It's good.
you are like a ghost as you slip between the various swaying bunks, or whatever they're called, and make it over to Praedyth. You gently put your hand over his mouth, and then you shake him.
He's so stealthy, can't wake me up even
No,
when he's
he
trying
wakes you
to.
up. It's just
Okay.
he's able to put his hand over your mouth so you don't shout out when he wakes you up. So you come to you start noticing somebody pushing you. You're in the middle of some dream. The dream though is weird in the sense that normally you don't remember most of your dreams, but in this one you've went back sort of to the nightmare you had with the at the portal where Aerra, the Mistress of Fate, was getting ripped apart by the tentacles in this dream. So when you put your hand over his mouth to keep him quiet, Marcus, you notice that he's already kind of tossing and turning a little bit, and there's a bit of sweat on his brow. So initially the whole pushing on him, Praedyth, is just you kind of shaking in this dream. And then you realize, then you kind of start awake as the tentacles kind of rip apart, and you wake up, and he kind of wakes up with a start, and he's about to say something, and you got the hand over your mouth, and you notice that it's Marcus next to you.
Okay, put my finger to my lips. We have the ship tonight. We need to point to the people who are on our side, and keep them from making noise. We're not going to kill them. We just want to. Do you have any spells or anything that would keep them asleep, keep them quiet?
Oh, there are 2 more people down here who potentially are your allies, True and Blimby. I should remind you.
Yeah. Drew's going to be my next person to try to wake up.
I just reminding you of those 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll try to wake up Aaron.
Well, give me a stealth check.
I was going to say, do you have good stealth? Please.
Not with Hu Yi.
Oh,
So it's that 20. It wasn't that 20.
Oh,
So you're kind of talking quietly to Praedyth when you hear Dresd'a kind of stumble as she kind of stubs her toe and stumbles over a locker on the floor as she's trying to get over to
I
Praedyth.
propose advantage since he's in the next bunk.
No. What I do need to do though is roll. I'm gonna roll for this guy because he's the closest. Perception with disadvantage because he's asleep. Well, luckily for you, very much luckily for you.
Oh my god.
That would have been really bad. Doesn't wake him up. He you watch as he kind of turns over and kind of falls back to sleep.
Oof.
Aaron, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right.
All I gotta do is be a 7.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh Lord.
So
Okay.
I did.
you wake up as you hear somebody kind of next to you trip over something. And you kind of look over and you see Dresd'a's kind of like almost, she kind of stumbled over and kind of bumped into you a little bit.
We're gonna try to take over the ship.
The irony of saying shh after that.
I'm whispering, by the way.
I know you are. I know you are. I assume you guys are whispering, but because of mics and stuff.
We've got to take over the ship. We just found out that they're going to try to kill us in the morning. So we've got to do this now while we have an advantage because everybody's sleeping. We need to do it quickly and quietly.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll start.
Let us do this thing today.
Time is nigh.
Okay. So Aaron and Praedyth are awake with Marcus and Dresd'a. Anything else you guys are doing? So far, no one else has woken up.
So we've got to get Rat and True up, right? Praedyth, since
Blimby as well. Blimby is the one that warned you that this is coming.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
clearly she's on your side.
Okay, I'll get Glimley. And someone can get Rat.
Kind of put over there. So,
all right. So Blimby is right. This is True. True would be in this bunk or one of these two bunks. Blimby is here. She's in the other bunk. So they're kind of in these two. Okay,
I'll do Glimby. Or wait, is True closer to me? Whoever's closer, I'll do whoever's closer.
All right. So Marcus, you asked Praedyth the question. What was that question? If he had anything, Praedyth,
do you have any magic to keep them asleep or anything to incapacitate them?
Not really my area of expertise, I'm afraid.
Okay. Okay then. When we need to keep them quietly, so when you try, do what you can.
I'll do what I got.
All right. So Dresd'a, you're moving towards True. Give me another stealth check.
Keeping them.
I'm going to give her bardic inspiration on that.
How are you going to do that? She has to be able to hear you say something.
I know.
So
mime it.
And again, she kind of gets wrapped up a little bit in the things as she moves over there. This guy here is going to
try and catch her since she was right next to me to sort of.
No, because she's.
I tripped over you.
Let's see. Again, perception with disadvantage for that guy. Luckily for you, you have been getting super lucky. No one hears you, other than maybe True, who also has disadvantage on it. Yeah, you kind of stumble into True, and she kind of swings and wakes up, and she kind of starts to get up, and she's about to say something when she recognizes who you are, and she kind of gives you a puzzled look.
We need to take this ship tonight. We found out they're going to try to kill us tomorrow. And to dump us over the side of the ship.
Blimby was supposed to tell you, but why do you think they're going to kill you?
They were dude were overheard talking about it. Scab's got this plan in motion.
She told me they were just going to drop you. She said dropping off. I guess that could mean they want to kill you.
Yeah, no, they're going to kill us.
All right, what's your plan?
Marcus is hoping to wake up the other folks, and we're going to get together and figure that out.
Okay, that's not my plan.
Marcus, you're kind of moving towards them as they're talking. Yeah. Give me a stealth check.
Be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Up top, you guys, Iylis, Rhux, Hylough, you're just doing your stuff, oblivious to what's going on.
We're just oblivious. Maybe somebody could come up and tell us.
So Marcus, you start to head over there, and you just trip and fall. And this guy definitely wakes up. This one right here, he wakes up.
You fall across him.
Yeah, he kind of looks like, what's going on?
Sorry. Got some rum.
Well, there's no rum on the ship, so.
Oh, well, what alcohol do we have on the ship?
None, because they haven't given you any. They kept all the rum on the other ship. You haven't had any rum rations or anything the whole
We
trip so
found
far.
Scabs' stash. He stored it in the kitchen secretly.
Give me a deception check.
Oh,
You can have.
Okay.
I'll help if I can. I was going to say something too, but I'll help.
Deception starts with
Yeah,
a D.
because of the lie you guys said, I'm gonna say it's normal
Ooh,
roll,
18.
but you got an 18. He's like, what do you mean you found Scab's stash? You mean he's been holding out on us? And his voice comes up, and so now these guys all get a perception check.
Be quiet. Yeah, it's only a couple cups, so don't wake everybody up. They're gonna want it too.
Jesus.
This is going very well.
Yeah, this is the
And
worst.
also not very well.
Oh my god. Jesus. All right, so this guy is the only guy awake. The rest of them sleeping right through this. Actually, I should give Rat a check. Yep, even Rat totally conked out. All right. Oh, Limby, who's the other last one that potentially could be woken up. Nope. Wow.
Limby needs to wake up.
I know you wanted her, but she didn't wake up. What are you guys doing?
So who is in?
This is one of the indifferent guys. One of the guys that the one who's awake is one of the guys who is you weren't sure of.
Okay.
These three. Actually, I forgot about. There's actually 1, 2, 3. It's here. Somebody's here that pirate.
I thought we had 2 guys we weren't sure of.
No. Oh, yeah. This guy is not supposed to be down here. This guy should be up here. Sorry, I put Galt down with you guys when I did not mean to. So there's only 3 guys down here.
Okay.
And this is one of the indifferent guys. This one is one of the guys who was told to stay away from me.
Okay.
Means I'm missing
So-
somebody somewhere.
What about this guy?
Oh yeah, he is the other indifferent guy. So clearly 2 of the guys up top are Scabs guys.
Right. In Thieves' Cant, I am going to try to make a symbol to True. Do you understand this?
She has no clue what it is. She doesn't know
Okay.
thieves can't.
Didn't know.
She's a
That's
priest.
Possibility.
A priestess. She's a cleric.
No, she could be multi-class. You never know.
Yeah.
Does anyone else?
She kind of looks at you and is like, kind of like, trying to calm the other guy down. She's like, yeah, we should just go back to sleep. These guys are just idiots. I don't know why they're trying to get into the room.
Fine.
Get there soon enough. And she starts laying back down in the thing.
I'll stomp over to here and lay down.
Okay. Unfortunately, that means that
Not stomp, all stealth.
well. Crickets. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, if that's another one.
It is another one.
Jesus. All right, are you guys doing anything? Nobody else seems to wake up. This guy kind of looks around a little groggily and he's like, all right, I'll see you in the morning. And then he starts laying back down and he looks like he's trying to go back to sleep. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Okay.
I still don't know anything's up, right?
No, nobody up
No.
top knows anything. So
Okay.
they're still trying to resolve this downstairs. Excuse me.
So, after 5 or 10 minutes,
All right.
I am
Wait about
going
10
to.
minutes.
Does everyone wait for them to seem like they're asleep again?
Give me a perception check. You hear some even breathing coming from over there. He's probably asleep.
Yeah. I am going to get out of bed.
Okay.
See if any of my compatriots seem to be up, like meat eyes.
I don't think any of them went to sleep. So
Okay. I'm gonna point at the guy we know is a problem, and then I'm gonna pretend to be grabbing him. Like act like make that motion like we're gonna grab him and
I
tag
know
him.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
True kind of looks at you like, huh? No, I mean, kind of like
Yeah,
she motions for you to come over to her.
Okay.
Do the throat, the line to the throat.
Can you
I'll go to her.
Why would I put my finger to this man's throat?
Son of a bitch.
you try to go over there and you get caught in the damn things again and fall to the floor. All right, let's see if anybody wakes up for this. Because so far they're having such a great time waking up.
Somebody's gonna get it here soon.
All right, so the one who was falling asleep wakes back up almost immediately. And since you're right next to this guy when it does it, he wakes up as well. And he's like, "But what's going? What? Why are you guys awake? Trying to sleep here?" At that point, True just kind of shakes her head, and speaks a word. And kind of grasps the amulet that's kind of at her thing, and she says a word, and she casts a spell.
Oh, nice.
And suddenly you see him. You don't hear the sound of the waves. You don't hear the creak of the ship. You don't even see him talking. He's talking, but you see him talking, but no words are coming out. Place is completely silent.
Okay. I'm gonna knock the one I know is bad that doesn't want to talk to me out.
Can I do that?
That's
Well,
my
this
plan.
guy is.
Oh, has Aaron got him?
Yeah, that's.
All right, so let's see here really quickly. Let's just do this. Roll initiative. Real quick. Nicely done, Aaron. True. Dresd'a, roll initiative.
You guys fighting down there?
Well, you won't know because it's
Yeah.
silent.
Yeah, I
If you can
know.
hear it, we've done it wrong.
Ah. Initiative, where are you?
On the initiative one.
All right. So we're going to begin combat here. True, we'll say, did her turn to drop the silent spell. Blinby is sleeping. Dresd'a, you are up. Right now, this guy and this guy, and this guy are awake. These two are awake.
Okay. So I'm gonna. I guess I'll use my bow. Light crossbow, and
They're also the guys who are in different.
so since I'm bound to dude,
Mhm.
It's charisma +2 for archery, so that's +6. Plus proficiency is +8, so it's +8 to my attack. All right.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna roll the regular attack roll just to get the damage stat. So just the damage dice applies. So it's 6 damage.
Say that again.
And 6 damage
Why does only 6 apply?
because I rolled separately. The stats on the The stats on my light crossbow are going off of dex, and while I'm bound to Hu Yi, my charisma plus the archery gets a +2, and then my proficiency is another +2.
So just roll your base damage of D8 and add all that stuff, right?
Well, no, it's still correct. The damage
Okay.
portion is correct. It's just the attack dice that are not correct. So it's 6 piercing, and I'll activate chill. And how that works is I activate her with a bonus, and then she can shoot the next round, or can I?
Yes, you can shoot the next round.
Okay.
Who are you
And
shooting?
where are you?
Which guy were you shooting?
Sorry. Let me X and Q.
Okay. Because he's technically prone, because he's still in his thing, you actually have disadvantage.
Oh, shoot
so
him.
roll another
Uh-huh.
d20.
Okay.
Shoot the other guy again.
No, they're both all three of them
Yeah,
are still
they're-
in their bunks.
they're prone.
Yeah, no,
they're
okay,
prone.
that's true.
All right.
I was
So
just hoping
you
that-
got a 20. You got a 22 for the first roll, but let's roll again to see which one's the lower of the two. Not saying that you won't still hit. I just
Well, you never know. Stuff happens.
Yep.
This is D&D.
All right. So
Okay,
you definitely
cool.
hit, and you do 6 points of piercing damage. Okay, that's cool. And you activate chill.
Yes.
All right. As an arrow silently. Now you do realize that with Hu Yi, whenever you would draw a weapon, so
Uh-huh.
you can manifest a longbow.
Okay.
So you want to do that. It's more damage.
Well, it's not necessarily more damage, but
Is the base damage not a light crossbow?
no, it's still D8. Longbow is still a D8.
Is it?
Okay.
I thought it was a D.
Sharp bow is
Yeah.
a D6.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'll manifest along.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can do that.
All right.
Along with the quiver that you pull an arrow
That's
out of,
pretty sick.
knock and shoot.
Hu Yi's quiver.
Mhm.
And I get the 9 sun arrows with that too, right?
Yes. However, I
I'm
don't
not
know if
gonna
you
do
want to
it.
shoot those inside of a ship because they cause fire
Yeah,
damage.
I was just gonna say I don't want to.
All right.
I learned my lesson with the
Praedyth,
fire
an
elemental.
arrow, you see an arrow, but you don't hear it. No, like everything else. Hit the guy next to you in the bunk. It's your turn.
This is not a safe space.
Whole ship is not a safe space at this point, it seems.
Well, yes. Well, going into the front of the ship, that open area with the stairs,
Mhm.
is anybody in there? Do like people sleep there too, or is
No.
that?
Everybody's
Okay.
either here or up on top, up on the deck.
I was just
above.
making sure. I'm gonna do a disengage action.
Okay. We're lying in bed, so you're prone, so you're going to lose half your move on the first.
Oh, well, but these guys are prone too. Would they get
Yeah,
an attack
they're all prone.
opportunity?
Yeah, you can still attack while you're prone.
Well, I don't think they would. I don't see why they would. They don't even have swords or nothing.
Well, one of them did
They
just get
just-
shot, so
Well, but he's asleep, so I'm saying he doesn't have a sword.
he's not
correct?
asleep.
Well, he doesn't have a sword in his hand.
No, he doesn't have a sword in his hand.
That's so. So I'm not going to do a disengage. Is my point.
Okay.
'Cause what's he going to do? Hit me with his fist?
So
Probably
15
miss, I'm
points
sure.
to get out of bed.
Yep.
So 15 moves. You still have 10 left of your first move, and then you can dash if you'd like.
Okay. 5, 10. Yeah, I'll be right here.
All right. You're still inside of the silence, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to cast any of my spells.
No, I'm just
And
letting
if
you know.
I go too far out, I won't be able to
Alright.
see it. And I have the whole room.
So this guy just got hit with an arrow. He's confused. He rolls to his feet, so he's now up, and he struggles. He goes down below, and he opens up his locker.
Why are we attacking the undecided people? What is...
I don't know. And he pulls out a cutlass, and that's all he can do. That's his entire turn. This guy
You're not with me.
woke
Then
up.
you're my enemy.
He's the one that started asking the question, and suddenly he notices that he can't speak anymore. he rolls out of bed, drops to his thing, and pulls out his cutlass. That's all he can do. This guy is still asleep, if I remember correctly. Marcus, you're up.
So which one? The two that were undecided were the ones that got shot?
No. The one that was undecided got shot, yes. This is the undecided one. He got shot. These two, and this one down here is undecided. This guy is the only one that you knew of that's part of the three.
Okay.
Well, I say undecided. I say when they at least talked to you. They seemed indifferent towards you. That doesn't mean they were undecided. That just means that they didn't care that they were speaking with you.
Okay. And the one to that one?
He's still asleep.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Is this one still ducking, or is he on his feet?
No, he's on his feet. He pulled out a cutlass from his locker.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him with the crossbow. Well, I mean, actually,
no, you're not, because you don't have it.
Okay,
it's in your locker.
I'll get my sling,
That's
which
fine.
I probably would have.
Yeah, you can have that.
And I'll hit him with a sling bullet.
All right.
Hopefully.
That is allowable.
I wonder if I'm trying something, see if the sling bullet will actually.
A 16 will hit.
Yeah, that's without anything. I am using sharpshooter if you want me to re-roll it. I was going to use sharpshooter because I've got advantage. I'm assuming. Well, you don't.
No, you
I'm
don't.
going to use sharpshooter. I'll re-roll it if that's okay. Is that okay?
No, you rolled a 16. So
well, I want to use sharpshooter and have the -5.
All right, so subtract 5 from 16. You got an 11. Okay. You miss.
11. Okay, and then I'm going to use a point of my Battlemaster for an extra D8 for accuracy.
Okay. So 14. That will hit then.
Okay. So that is 13 points.
And why is it 13 points?
Plus 10 for the sharpshooter.
Okay. Plus 10 points?
Yes. Sharpshooter, you're -5, and if you hit, it's plus 10 hit points. It's the feat.
Oh, that seems kind of broken.
It is so broken.
I think it should be plus 5.
Great weapon master.
If you're taking a -5 penalty, you should only get plus 5 to the attack. It should be you're moving 1 to the other. But
it's the same thing as great weapon master though, where it's -5 to hit with great weapon and then plus 10 for damage.
Yeah, I still think that's broken. But that's fine. It's fine. Plus 10.
Okay. And I don't think does Sling get proficiency or anything extra?
No.
Okay, then that's 13 points, and then I will move and block the door. Block the stairs. Actually, Praedyth is blocking the stairs?
I mean, kind of. He's like 2 feet tall, so.
Yeah. I'll move here over this guy.
Okay. Brad is sleeping. Aaron, you're up.
Okay. I wouldn't have any of my stuff, correct?
No. In fact, because of your armor, I don't even think you'd have your armor on. Like, leather I can sort of see being on, but scale mail not so much, not for trying to sleep.
Okie dokie. All right.
But if you have a dagger, I would say you would have a dagger on. It's just not going to have a long sword or anything like that.
I have a small knife.
Yeah, it works.
All right. Defensive action.
Defensive action. Okay. All right. Top of the round. True. Is going to, I think, Sacred Flame the guy here, since that's who Dresd'a shot, so she just assumes that's one of the bad guys. So give him a dexterity saving throw, which he does actually make. So unfortunately does nothing. And then she moves to this door right here. Blinby is still sleeping, so somebody might want to wake her up. Dresd'a, you're up.
That was your only warning. Do you yield?
He can't hear you.
Dresd'a says something, and no one can hear what she says. The beauty of a silence spell.
I could have explained not to shoot them too. But...
Do you? I don't want to shoot you again.
You speaking and you hear nothing coming out of your mouth. You don't even hear it in your head. You don't even hear the in
That's
your own
my
ears.
bow attack.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You hit.
And this is gonna just for damage. Is it still disadvantage?
No, it's not.
Okay.
He's
Well,
now
this
out of
one's-
his bunk, so.
Okay. This is gonna be just for the damage. 6 damage again. And
Okay,
then
so
chill guy.
Let me show you something. And so I've done the damage time. So if I go into your thing and I go to your inventory and I edit your crossbow, you can go into details. I'm doing for right now. You can change the ability modifier from default to charisma, and now it will use your charisma modifier.
Oh.
So the next time you roll with the light crossbow, it'll use a charisma modifier. Now you say you also have an extra +2, which you do. Which
Right.
I don't think this is actually. This thing is already taking that into account. If you look at the roll, it's at 1d20 +0 +2 when on your
But
second
the
thing.
+2 is my proficiency.
There you go. That's fine.
There's another +2 from
right.
when I find.
Again, we can still add that in the details.
Okay.
You can do attack roll bonus. You can add a +2 to it. It's right there. So now your light crossbow will actually work as if all of your stuff is there.
Yay. Okay, cool.
Just so you know for future. Now,
Under details?
obviously, if you turn off Hu Yi, we need to remove all that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe I can create a second light crossbow and call it Hu Yi's
You can. There's other ways of doing it too, which we can talk about in the future. I've been learning some more about the automation and stuff like that.
Okay.
I can make it so that Hu Yi applies an effect to you, which basically changes the attack bonus automatically. Your
Yeah,
default
it's for all my
automatically.
range attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. You doing anything else other than shooting? Your action is up, so if you're going to try to wake somebody up, you can't
Chill
do
guy
that.
was going to go.
Okay, that you can do.
Oh, chill. Where are you, baby boy?
You can wake someone up with your bonus action. Well, your bonus
No,
action.
not with a
attack.
bonus action. It has to be an action to wake them.
Make a ranged spell attack. Okay, so I know what I was doing. I said I was going to use the Ray of Frost. It's the same thing. The same damage, same attack. Ranged spell attack, D8 damage. Ranged spells. Oh, this is D6. Oh, that's why. Okay.
All right, so you definitely hit, but it'll be 1 point of damage.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
That's not going to matter. But what I'm trying to determine is if that actually works like a Ray of Frost or not, and requires an actual verbal component. Because if it does, then it doesn't work.
It does.
I understand it's not actually Ray of Frost. That's why I was reading the actual stuff with it.
No, the print was small. I thought they were both D6 cold damage, but
That's not what I'm talking about. You're in a silence zone.
Gotcha.
Don't
If
Yeah.
Chill
work.
Touch actually really works like a true Ray of Frost, then it requires a verbal component
Gotcha.
to
No,
actually even
no.
cast. No.
Well, this is a ranged spell attack, and if we're in a zone of silence, can chill the minor spirit how does that affect him?
Well, that's why I'm trying to read the thing
Yeah.
about it.
It is a spell attack.
Chill Touch does have verbal.
As a bonus action, you can make a ranged spell attack with it against any creature within 30 feet of you, dealing 1d6 cold damage on a hit. Anyway, for now, you do 1 point of damage. I'll figure it out later. Praedyth. Brian.
Brian.
Yes. I guess we're like, trying to kill him or something. I don't get it. I'll step right here.
Okay.
I can still see the far one, correct? I have line of sight on
Rat's
one of
not
them.
actually up. Rat's laying down, I think. So you could see the one who we know is bad.
Well, I'm talking. I've got a. There's a wall right there. I don't think I could see him with that wall.
Let me see.
Oh, is that a wall? Okay.
Yeah, there's a wall right here.
I misunderstood this whole time then.
Give me a second. Yes, I added some walls real quick. So yes,
So I can see him.
You can see him. Technically, I think you can even sort of see this guy.
All right, I'll tag that one that you just had your cursor over.
Okay.
So he's the evil one, right?
Well, at
The
this
mean
point in
one?
time, you've been attacking both of them. So Dresd'a's been shooting this one.
Yeah, I don't know why Dresd'a.
Marcus fired a bullet at this one.
I don't get why Dresd'a's shooting that one, but we'll move on. Yeah, I'll just fire off a Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
At that one next to Rat.
All right, 19 does hit. You do 3 points of damage to him.
Major
You guys
damage.
see more than hear a bolt of energy come flying through the door and slam into that guy. And he see him arches back as it hits him in the back. Clearly he's in pain, but you can't hear any of it.
And then I'll step back forward.
He's not down, no.
Man.
Is it action to look through my Raven's eyes?
I think we said that was the case, yes.
Okay, then I'll wait for that.
All right. This guy now has a cutlass. He he attacks Dresd'a. Okay, just trying to make sure I wasn't in the right. Well, you've been shooting him with a freaking arrow.
But I told him to yield.
You don't even hear him as he walks towards you and swings his cutlass, doing 12 points of damage. And you don't hear the cutlass. You're so confused. You're not hearing any of this stuff. You didn't hear the twang of the bowstrings. You spoke and didn't hear anything. It's so confusing to you that you leave yourself wide open, and he just slices right down the center of your torso, opening up a massive gash.
Ow.
Yeah, definitely an ow. This guy is not dead. I did not mean to accidentally kill him. He takes his cutlass, he grabs Rat, and he puts his cutlass on top of it, and he looks around the room. He's got his cutlass on his neck. He hasn't pulled it or anything, but it definitely looks like he's threatening Rat with it. Rat wakes up, and he's got this weapon on, he's being held down, and he kind of starts to wiggle a little bit. It's not quite his turn yet. This guy still sleeps. Because it's all silent. Marcus, you're up.
Sorry, I was yelling at my dog.
That's
okay,
right.
so he has
He has this guy up here has a cutlass to Rat's throat. He hasn't tried to cut him yet or anything, but the intent is obvious even in the silence.
I'm gonna throw another stone.
All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the dog. Hold on. Okay, so does he have a held action? Is that what it looks like?
You're not sure. It definitely looks like he is intending. He looked with intent at around the room, but he didn't pull the weapon across Rat's throat yet. Make of that what you will.
Okay. Crap. I'm gonna this guy beside me is asleep, right?
Mm-hmm. And since it's quiet, it's silence. He's not hearing any of this what's going on. Unless somebody hits him, knocks into him. Well, he's not waking up.
I just don't have anything.
This is like watching a silent movie.
Yeah, I know. I will go over and with my hands open.
As you start to move towards him, he pushes it in just ever so slightly into Rat's throat and looks at you meaningful, like, and shakes his head at you.
I'm sling stoning him. Not ideal. But...
Okay, well, as you sling the stone, he does his held action.
I know.
And he gets an automatic crit on the cutlass. Which means that it will be 14 points of damage to Rat across his throat. And Rat...
I'm just doing a normal hit, by the way.
Blood flows out and Rat goes limp.
Okay. And I will miss.
And you will miss.
Yep.
Rat makes a death saving throw.
Okay. But he dropped Rat, right?
Rat is, blood pours out of his neck as he is unconscious and bleeding out.
Yep.
Let's see here. That's just a Constitution ability check.
It's just a D20.
Was it a Constitution saving? No, it's an ability check.
No, it doesn't give you any saves. It's a straight up. If you're talking about kill, death save.
Yeah.
Because my barbarian would never die.
Rat loses 2 death saves in one roll. Ouch. Aaron, you're up. You see the guy kind of presses his cutlass through Rat's neck. Blood splashes out and Rat...
I motion for Aaron to get him. Or heal Rat. One or the other.
It's going to be really hard to heal Rat in a silence.
Yep.
I can heal Rat.
He has...
I can heal Rat.
Well, he has those points. I don't think they take health for his...
Paladin.
He's not a Paladin.
Damn it. I just heard about that. I thought you were a Paladin.
No, he's a Warden.
I listened to the first episode.
Well, he was going to be a Paladin, and we talked.
I know. It's just like me. I was going to be a gunslinger. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to knife this dude.
Okay.
What's that knife stats? D4, I think.
Wow.
Okay, well,
you drop the weapon as you try to knife the dude. You can pick it back up if you'd like as your bonus action.
Oh, wait. What do I have for bonus? Yeah, no, I'll do that.
All right. Third round. True looks... Just going to drop another Sacred Flame on this guy in front of her. Who makes the save again?
Only got a 12? Oh, that's like it's 8 plus.
Yeah, it's not as much as you think it is.
No.
Interesting. All right, so that doesn't work for her. No one's woken up Blinby. Dresd'a, you're up. She should probably wake up Blinby instead. That might have been more useful.
Well, I'm amazed they're as tough as they are.
They're just as tough as they were when you fought them to save the sea spray, or to capture the sea spray. Those guys were all had the same number of hit points as this.
Man, I hope I don't get whipped again tomorrow.
Which one is Blimby?
One right next to you. This is
one
Blimby.
here?
Mhm.
Okay.
She is a gnome.
Okay, so I'm gonna disengage. Is it an action to try and wake Blimby?
Yes, and your disengage is an action as well.
Okay, so then I guess I can't do that. I will use my action to try to wake up Blimby.
Okay, you wake her up. There's no try
Okay.
here. If you do that.
All right, I'll wake her up.
All right.
Heal Rat.
How
Heal Rat.
are you going to heal Rat?
Well, I'll wake her up. She can figure it out.
You wake up Blimby. It's silent.
Okay.
Blimby is also not the cleric here. The cleric is the one who's already awake. And it's silent.
Okay. Never mind.
Otherwise, Aaron would have saved Rat.
Gotcha. Hey, could I use one of those sun arrows to cauterize Rat's wound?
You mean his neck that is pouring out blood that's been cut in
Okay,
through about an
I'm
inch and a
running
half?
through ideas. No, never mind.
I mean, Aaron could have tried to stabilize him by trying to stop the bleeding and stuff instead of attacking with a knife, but that's not what he did.
Okay.
You do wake up Blimby. That you can definitely do. You still have a move and a bonus.
Bonus action is going to be it's too close for a chill guy to do range attack. That would be disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You could attack somebody else, though.
No, I already used my action to wake up Blimby.
Oh, okay.
If I try to do a range attack from here, it's still disadvantage, right? Because I got a guy on melee.
Yes, because you got a guy in melee.
Yeah, see, it doesn't matter.
Well, you still might hit with disadvantage. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you've got another bonus action you can do.
What's my spell? It's range attack. It's proficiency plus charisma 6.
Which name is
10. There's a miss.
Praedyth.
It's 4 points. On Rat. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just trying to determine if it requires you to say something. Means I need to look up Aasimar. Just to make sure. Because maybe we didn't put it in correctly. That's all. Real quick. Doesn't say so he gets 4 points. Okay with that. All right. Rat, the wound kind of heals up but leaves a scar. And Rat goes, and he wakes up. And, well, you can't hear him go, you can see him do it, though. All right. This pirate here attacks Dresd'a again.
No.
She says no, but no one can hear her. I believe he misses. He does miss.
Oh, thank goodness. Whew.
He missed. This pirate here is confused. Well, doesn't notice that Rat has kind of come up, but attacks Aaron. Excuse me. 22 will hit, but only 4 points damage. Because he sucks. This pirate sleeps. Marcus.
How damaged does that pirate look? The one who's still standing, the one who is marked.
He's been taking damage. He's.
I mean, does he look like he's about to fall?
Does anybody ever look like he's? You've hit him with a couple of stones.
Well, yeah, but they're pretty solid stuff.
Yeah, but I guess my point is he's not bleeding because you've hit him with stones.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So.
But I mean, is his head wobbling from?
And he also took some damage from a witch bolt.
Right.
He's the sailors on the sea sprite were pretty tough. It took you several moments to dispatch some of them. Even So I mean, he's
still up.
He's still up. He's he doesn't look like he's wobbling yet or anything like that. That's for sure.
Okay.
You guys haven't hit him that badly. You've been hitting him, but it's only like 3 or 4 points a pop. It's not been a big thing.
Well, I hit him with a pretty good pop for like 13, but yeah. I'm gonna try that again.
That was 1, and then Praedyth hit him once and you missed. That's it. He's literally been hit twice.
I'm gonna try to hit him again with do I have a knife? I do have a knife, but that's not really gonna help.
You do. I would say you have your knife.
Does he look super strong?
He looks super strong. What do you mean by super strong?
Is he a burly guy? Normal
sailors. I mean, they're sailors. They typically tend to be more dexterous than strong, but you got to be a little wiry to get up the rear green and all that sort of stuff.
I will try to hit him with a slingshot again.
All right.
And I am using sharpshooter.
Okay.
Want to be first? Son of a bitch.
Unfortunately, that misses.
Yeah, I know. I figured. Yeah, I'm not even going to use an event for that.
All right.
So, this is ridiculous. Where's my locker? Is it right beside me?
Probably near where you were sleeping.
Okay, so my interaction is to open my locker. I don't think I can get anything.
You cannot open your locker with an interaction. That takes an action. It's like opening a door.
Okay.
You've used an action. You can't open your locker.
Is there any other weapons around here I see?
No. I mean,
other than the ones you've got?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that your weapons are in your lockers. You could get them. You just have to get into your locker.
Yeah, but take a time to stop. I'm just going to stop there, I guess. Actually, can I pull Rat away?
No, again, requires an action to grab him.
Okay, I'm done then.
All right. Rat rolls out of the bunk and tumbles over to here.
Kind of motion him behind me.
Let me give an acrobatics check first, because... And then I have to decide if... Yeah. All right, so his armor class is a 10 against this particular reaction, which he gets hit for 5 points of damage. And he rolls to a stop unconscious again. But he does kind of roll as he does it at the same time. All right, Rat is again unconscious. There is some question as to whether or not death saves restart once you fall below 0 again. I'm not sure, but don't care too much. Aaron, you're up.
Okay.
10 plus 1.
15 to hit.
15 does hit.
All right.
Did you lash
Knife
out
is
with
a
your knife?
D4.
Yes. Plus your strength.
Plus, I'm gonna do.
All right. So
that's 9 points of damage.
So 9 points. All right. So you jab the knife into him, and you see it hit his bicep, and blood start to spurt out of a little bit, and then you see him go a little bit as you kind of shock him with it. You can see him panting a bit as he pulls back, as you pull back from the thing, holding your knife out. He's definitely panting. He's looking a little worse for the wear. True. Disengages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gets ready to pull Rat out of here the next time. He gets an attack of opportunity with disadvantage as she goes by.
You already used it.
Not this guy, different guy.
Oh, crap.
But misses anyway. Blimby is now awake. She uses half her move to roll over, and she drops to the floor, and she uses an action to open up her locker and pull out a sword. Cutlass, I think she has. Cutlass. She then action surges and attacks him.
Yay.
Unfortunately, a 9 is not going to do it. That was a pretty bad roll. See, is that like a... It's 4. It's 2 plus 2. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's a bonus to damage, not... Dresd'a, you're up. Now the two of you are fighting him.
All right. I don't know that I want to take it. I'll disengage and move behind Bimby
All right.
and let Chill Guy attack. I think I fixed it.
17 will hit. For 3 points. So a little bit of a nice shard flies across and hits him. Praedyth, what are you doing?
I'll take a step back. And attack that one in front of Aaron.
Okay.
With no blast.
Uh, 10 misses this time.
Nice Hylough.
Okay. All right, because you can see how. This guy attacks Blimby now. And does hit her. Yeah. For 8 points. Wow. It's a bit of a hit. She's unable to get out of the way. She's a bit confused by the fact that there's no sound, and it seems like at least she's used sound in some of her fighting to understand where the attacks are coming from, so that kind of gets her off guard. This pirate attacks Aaron. Actually, this pirate disengages. 1. You can attack of opportunity with disadvantage if you want.
Oh.
Or wait, no. Disengage doesn't provoke attack of opportunities, I don't think.
Yeah, not at all.
Back up, disengage completely.
Yeah. So I guess it's good that nobody hit true that time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You hear scream. Well, you don't hear screaming because you're in the other thing.
Does he have? Is that door not open and not closed?
It's. I can't remember. There was a point during. The door is closed, but using the door during movement is an actual thing you can do.
Yeah, but I thought, okay.
Attack rolls. Melee attacks. The other pirate's asleep, so Marcus, it will be your turn next.
Yeah. I mean, I thought because you told me I couldn't open the thing without
You
a turn.
can't open the thing
like,
without an action because you're not doing anything else while you're doing it. In this case, as part of the movement action, he can open a door. As part of an attack action, you can draw a weapon. But if you wish to do something else with a weapon, it's an actual action. So that's the difference here. You can do some things as part of another action. You can't open up a locker as part of another action. You move
okay,
to
I thought, okay. I just remembered you said that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
I
understand. You're walking right through a guy.
Is he still there?
Yeah, this guy is right here. He hasn't moved.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take an opportunity attack with that. 6.
Yeah, this guy will attack you with an attack of opportunity. 19, so 5 points of damage.
Okay, and I will grab him and try to grapple him.
Okay.
So that's what, strength versus strength, or athletics versus athletics?
Or his acrobatics, which is his choice. You do athletics, he does his choice.
Okay.
But he rolled a 1, so unless you roll a 1.
No, it's quite possible, so I just rolled it and didn't do anything.
Nope, you have him grappled. You can see his mouth is open and he is clearly doing something, but you still can't hear what he's doing. But you do grapple him.
Can I pull him back, or is that?
No, that you can do next turn.
Okay.
He is currently restrained. He is currently grappled, which means he can't move.
Right.
And he can. You will do an actual. I think all of your maneuvers require weapon attacks. Otherwise, I'd say you could do a maneuver.
Oh, I don't have anything that's appropriate right now. Anyway.
Yeah, you don't. But I mean, I think they're.
I think they do.
I think they all say weapon. I think they all say weapon attack. I would allow an unarmed attack to be considered a weapon attack, but a grapple still isn't.
Okay.
All right, so you've got him grappled. I will say that you put your hand over his mouth during the grapple, but that he's probably still shouting. So
yeah.
Rat needs to make a death saving throw. Helped him last round.
I thought she couldn't get him out yet.
Nope. Okay.
Most of the online stuff, it says it resets. I can't see anything at all in D&D Beyond.
Well, he makes this one anyway, so we're good. We're good for now. Aaron, you're up. Yeah, I can't. I know it resets after every combat. I just don't know if it resets during a combat. Like I've had some people say it doesn't, and other people say it does. So for now, I'm not worried about it. He made this last one; it'll be fine for now. But yeah. Aaron, it's your turn.
I'm gonna hit this dude.
All right. 10 plus 5.
17.
17 hits. Wow. You stab him in the arm. You stab him in the side. He's more attention with Blinby. You stab him basically in a kidney, and you see him arch his back. And if you could hear him say something, he'd probably be saying "R," but you can't hear him say anything. Right, top of the thing. True grabs Rat and pulls him out to here, which is all she can do. Hopefully next round she can cast Spare the Dying. Blinby attacks our friend here. Oh, and hits. Does 6 points of damage to him. He is looking pretty rough as you stabbed him in the kidney in the back, and then she slices across the top of his leg. He's bleeding from several places and does not look like he's going to last much longer. Dresd'a, you're up.
You see me struggling in here.
Well, Dresd'a doesn't see you struggling in here because she's too
Well, she
far.
saw me go through, though.
She saw you go through, but she doesn't see you struggling currently.
Yeah. But this dude is still harassing Limby, right?
Well, yeah. And actually, technically she had advantage, and so did Aaron, technically. Or +2, so she had a 19. You're right. You did the right thing.
That's not
Yeah, you added the
possible.
+2. 11 does not hit.
Hang on a sec.
You rolled a 5, you got a +6. That's right.
No, it's +8. It's 14.
Well, 11 plus, or sorry, 5 plus 8 is also not 14, but
13. It's getting late. My senses are slowly shutting.
13 is a miss.
Okay. And chill guy. Where'd it go? There it is.
That will hit them
Yay!
for 3 points. He kind of falls to one knee and just through sheer force of will kind of stands up. Praedyth, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna step out right here so I can cast Spare the Dying.
Oh, well, that's what she was going to do, but that'll work.
Well, who knows if it'll last the next round.
Yep, so he is now at 0 points and no longer needs to make any death saving throws.
And that's all I'm gonna do. I gotta go.
So this pirate continues to shout and tries to break the grapple. So give me another athletics check, Marcus. Wow. Well, unless you get really low. All right, so he is unable to break the grapple. And that is his turn because he can't move. Oh, wait, sorry. I flipped him. So we'll do that one first. Now this pirate attacks. This one here, drops his weapon. And he just drops to his knees and he puts his hands up in the air. This guy still sleeps. Marcus, you're up.
Have I been able to keep him quiet at all?
You have your hand over his mouth. You're in the silence, so you have no clue how loud he is.
I'm going to step out and try to push him back into the silence. At a shove? I don't know how. Well, I mean,
if you want to try to do something with him, just do a strength check.
Okay.
You have him grappled, so you don't have to grapple him anymore, but we'll do a contested strength check for whether or not you pull him out. Push him in or whatever it is. He has been rolling pretty low, but it was still better than you. So it's just you guys are both kind of back and forth trying to move him. I will say because you have advantage, you can, or not because you have advantage, but because you are holding him, you can do 5 feet.
Okay.
So he's back into the silence.
That's all I wanted.
But that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Rat is still unconscious. Aaron, you're up. The guy in front of you dropped his weapon and is on his knees, kind of.
I'm gonna try and clump this guy unconscious.
You do have advantage, by the way.
Advantage?
He's restrained, so you have advantage. You still miss.
This is unreal.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, I know. It's just a dice. I'm just saying it.
All right, so True, who has been casting Sacred Flame this entire time but can't because verbal. Luckily, she's missed every single time, so it doesn't matter. Well, now cast it from here because she can. And I think she can actually see. Praedyth, I need to move you briefly. Yes, she can see him. So now she casts Sacred Flame on the other guy who's you're holding on to. I cannot believe I did that. And Oh, he has disadvantage, but he misses it. So 3 more points of damage to this guy, which still doesn't take him down.
Yep.
Why would you guys have been nickeling and diming him to death? Blimby basically takes goes over to here, takes his hands, and basically uses one of the cots, barracks, whatever the heck this thing is called, and starts tying him to a post. Dresd'a.
He's going to the bathroom.
I was halfway to the bathroom. I came back. Okay. Did you say this was the guy? I can only see part of my screen. Did you say that was the guy who surrendered?
Yes.
Okay.
Blimby is currently tying him to
in the
a post.
doorway.
Okay. And guy in the kitchen, this guy?
Mm-hmm.
We still fighting him?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try to pew on him.
Marcus has him a hold of him and is trying to struggle to pull him back in. You do not have advantage on this because you're ranged. 10 does not hit. And even if it's
is a 12. The 12 still,
12 still doesn't hit.
Yeah. Chill baby.
That will hit though.
Do some real damage.
Yay!
He gets some cold on him and he shivers a bit and he kind of slumps in your arms for a little bit, but then you see him jerk and he's trying to pull as hard as he can still. I don't know what to tell you, man. Praedyth moves here and fires an Eldritch Blast at him and unfortunately misses.
Fuck. All
right. So this guy has surrendered. This guy here tries to break again. Give me an athletics, Marcus. And this time he breaks free. He still has his move. He runs back into the thing. You can make an attack of opportunity.
I'll use my knife.
Oh, good, because you can only do a melee attack, so it's either an unarmed attack or nothing, or the knife. 11 does.
I will
not
use
hit.
an extra D8.
Okay. Yep.
So hang on, I gotta put my dice down here.
All right, you do hit now, and you stick the knife in his back as he turns to run, and he falls to the ground just outside of the silence.
Okay.
We're going to stop the combat right there. At least the initiative order of the combat. And we'll come back to you guys.
First sneak attack ever.
Above,
Honestly.
you guys up above, Iylis, Rhux, Hylough. You guys are going about your business when you hear a muffled "Help! Help! Help! Help!" from down below, and we'll stop there for a second. And it's not one of your compatriots.
I wouldn't recognize that voice anywhere.
Yeah, you hear "Help! Help! Help! Mutiny! Help! Mutiny!"
Well, they're all asleep, maybe, so maybe they don't hear.
Yeah.
That
Next
or
time
maybe
we will see who hears that, and
somebody's...
the guys over on this end of the ship probably not as easily heard, but Scabs is right above. Shouted. So yeah, the mutiny has started. I was hoping the mutiny would get done tonight so we could.
Well, if we could have rolled anything
to the next thing, but that's all right. It happened. It is what it is. So we will pick this up again next session.